Happy Foundational Black American August. We in the house. Shout out to the family. And may the beatdowns proceed to give them what they need. Some damn act right. So when I tell everybody that it's a boycott, that's exactly what it is. When I tell everybody, what the hell is that? Goddamn. Ugh, terrible. When I tell everybody that we shutting it down, that's what I mean. And when I tell everybody that it's Wakanda for never and delineation forever, then you know it's certified foundational Black American time. And that's the case. Free Huey.
Black Alpha Network. Home of Black excellence. Power to the people.
That part. Certified peace and love, certified Black society, certified family, y'all. It just happens to be, a great, great day, August 5th, and we in the building, and we about to hold it down, and we about to let them know. Like my mama just told me a minute ago, we ain't going nowhere. We right here, family. This is what it is. Listen, we ain't going to Africa because we ain't Africans, okay? Foundational Black Americans, if you ain't heard, we good in the hood. We living real damn swell over here. Now, I know they can't say the same about where they from, but guess what? That's their problem. Now, I know that they wake up every day thinking about us, but guess what? We don't give a damn about them, and we letting it be known. Family, simple as this. This foundational Black American lineage-based movement got everybody shook up. Because, FBA, we ain't supposed to be patriotic. No, Black Americans, we ain't supposed to be American. No, they want to be Africans, and they want to be minorities, and they want us to be everybody other than who the hell we are. And the fact that we telling them who the hell we are, and we saying it bold, we saying it to their face, we letting them know what time it is. That got the world shook, family. We just rolling the dice. So certified salute. Remember, y'all, it's not Black August. It's foundational Black American August. And that's different. And I love me some August anyway for a bunch of reasons. But I'm going to tell you right now all the reasons why we're winning. We're winning because it's delineation, separation, regulation. Next stop is reparations. So they're going to send out everybody they can. And today on this broadcast, fam, we're going to break down the ops and how they're coming from all these different angles. But the main thing that I want everybody to know is that they're not going to move us off of our pivot. We right here. Where your grandparents from? Somebody in the chat, everybody in the chat, let me know right now. Where are your grandparents from? Represent your grandparents. Can we give grandma some love? Can we give grandpa some love? They know where we at. We hold it down. But I want you right now in the chat to tell me where your grandparents are from. And if your grandparents are still here, certified salute. But I want everybody to know this. My grandparents ain't get off of no damn boat. Hell no. My grandparents ain't come from no damn Africa. Hell no. And if I want to go see the grave sites of my grandparents, I ain't getting on no plane. I'm simply either going to walk or I'm going to get in the car and I'm going to be back home and I'm going to see it. So y'all let me know. Let's send our grandparents some love, family, because our grandparents paved the way for our parents paved the way for us. We're going to do the same for the babies. And when you add all that up, you're talking about hundreds of thousands of years of existence and presence right here on this beautiful landmass called the United States. And there'd be no USA without FBA. And I see FBA Arkansas. I see FBA Dallas. I see FBA Mississippi. I see Texas in the building. I see Alabama and Mississippi. Damn, we holding it down heavy. Savannah, Georgia in the building. I see you. And I'm going to send an extra special shout out to my people in Mississippi, my people in Honey Pass, South Carolina. I'm going to send an extra special shout out to all my people in Kentucky, one love, and the great state of GA, extra love. And it just shows you, family, our family is here. Your family is there, which means there is they. They is those is them, and them ain't like us. Let's go to work. Here we go, fam. When we tell them that we foundational Black Americans and we ain't from Africa, remember, we not asking. We just letting the whole goddamn world know whether they like it or not. Certified salute. Man, we in here deep. Let's go. This is what we talking about when we tell these people, quit hating on FBA. You'll never be FBA. You ain't strong enough to be FBA. I see Illinois. I see you all day. Let's go to work, fam, and let them know. FBA, we ain't no damn immigrants.
Black Americans are immigrants. You guys are. You guys were stripped and changed and all types of stuff in a boat from your slave masters. We all ain't supposed to be in America right now. This is not our land. We're not supposed to be making any rules or anything in this land. This is the natives' land. What I'm saying is, where's the Black Americans gonna go if we give the land right back to Native Americans? Don't be so in your power and all that and empowered in this land. It's not our land. Y'all are immigrants and y'all don't even know it. Y'all don't know where y'all come from, what land y'all own. Y'all don't know nothing. What land, what type of, what is in that land. Y'all don't know anything about y'all land. Y'all don't know nothing about it, but so quick to talk about other people's culture and what they do in their culture. Black Americans are immigrants. You guys are. You guys were stripped and changed and all types of stuff in a boat from your slave masters. We all ain't supposed to be in America right now. This is not our land. We're not supposed to be making any rules or anything in this land.
What you mean we ain't supposed to be making no rules? We are the rules. We are the law. We make it all happen. Y'all listen to this defeated behavior, this defeated mentality. This ain't nothing but a $2 tether. This tether ain't worth the food stamp. Understand this, y'all. Whenever you hear that type of rhetoric, these people only reinforce how they're not foundational Black Americans, how they can never be foundational Black Americans. All I hear right now is we ain't, we can't, we won't, we don't. And that's why you don't build your homeland. You ain't ever got nothing off the ground, and you got a colonizer. They're trying to put the colonizer jacket on people, but I told y'all, we don't wear tether schmedium. No, we wear an FBA extra large because we in charge. And they understand we run the yard. This is my goddamn house. Keep running your mouth, Tether, if you can, because the more I'm looking at it, it look like your hairline is covered up. However, you got a gap in your damn teeth on the left and the right side. So you ain't got no business talking about me.
This is the natives' land. What I'm saying is, where's the Black Americans gonna go if we give them?
I'm saying, where the hell did Dennis go? Because if you're going to talk about FBA, you're going to have your stuff together. And you apparently don't.
Land right back to Native Americans. Don't be so in your power and all that and empowered in this land. It's not our land. Y'all are immigrants and y'all don't even know it. Y'all don't know where y'all come from, what land y'all own. Y'all don't know nothing. What land, what type of, what is in that land. Y'all.
You can't even get it out. Y'all don't know what is what when you what it, when you what. And if you what, do you know what a dentist is? Do you know what a gap is? Do you know what the hell you talking about? I think not.
What is in that land? Y'all don't know anything about y'all land. Y'all don't know nothing about it, but so quick to talk about other people's culture and what they do in their culture.
We don't give a damn about nobody else's culture. Everybody worried about our culture. Understand that. And this is why, fam, it's delineation forever. Okay? The Wakandas ain't working. They're going to try to give us Ciaras and Ludacris's. Damn them. I don't give a damn about none of that. Okay? I want everybody to focus now how they're in phase 2 of the Go to Africa scam. And they're trying to get these washed up people. No offense to Ludacris, but homeboy, you ain't even from Georgia. And you running around here trying to make it look like we all need to go back to Africa. 1, never been to Africa. 2, if you ain't being sincere about where you're from in America, then I know damn well you ain't being sincere about America. Said it, meant it. Ciara, on the other hand, she's not from goddamn Georgia. No, Ciara's a military child. Grew up very well. Ciara's Nunu from ATL. She is not from Georgia, okay? So these are 2 people who false claim Georgia. Then we talk about how they send out all these people now. And when you look at the statistics and all these little things talking about how Atlanta don't have all the blacks no more and you sent in all these different people, that's what I'm talking about. You got a bunch of people who are tether transplants trying to go over to somewhere else and tell us to go over there. We ain't going to none of that. None of that. Because foundational Black Americans, we good right where we are. Be where your feet are, family. Be where your feet are. And our feet been right here, loyal to the soil, 10 toes down for life. So that's where we're going to stay. And remember this as well. The Democrats got a lot of bags on the table, right? Everybody keeps hearing about Benin and Nigeria and all that. They're going to start sending out these people that are going to try to do the reparations hustle that they tried to pull a year or two ago. Y'all remember that? And y'all remember this picture right here. Don't let nobody get you off that square, family. That picture says everything. That's where we are with it. Foundational Black American brothers and sisters standing on business in the land that we're from, y'all. And these people are just screaming at us. But guess what? Ain't nobody paying no attention. Does that brother and sister in that photo look bothered? Do they look bothered? No, because we ain't bothered and we'll never be bothered. So keep on screaming and we not listening. And family, they keep making more videos trying to tell us Black Americans are Africans. Black Americans are Black Americans and Black Americans run America. You just run from your homeland. Easy work. Let me speed up. These damn tethers be going slow as hell. This is what I mean when I say family, we run America. I mean, we run it.
I hear Black Americans say they are not Africans. I consider that the biggest Dululu of all ages. Because who do you think your are? Where do you think your came from? My brothers and sisters that were taken from West and Central Africa.
She said, where did your forefathers come from? Where did our forefathers come from? Do y'all hear this? Y'all hear that these people are always trying to give us a history lesson about our stuff? Where did your forefathers come from? I know where yours came from. All I had to do was pull out my Fleetman forehead detector. And it told me straight up, West Africa, easy. But when I'm looking at y'all on the other end, I'm seeing y'all ain't nowhere near us. We know exactly where we're from.
Where do you think your came from? My brothers and sisters that were taken from West and Central Africa during the transatlantic slave trade. That was around 1619 to 1808. Now, countries like Nigeria, Senegal, Ghana, Angola were the major region where these people were captured and taken to the United States as slaves. Now, during this period, most of my sisters were raped and they gave birth, right? Good. After emancipation in 1865, they came together to form what we know as the Black community. At this point,
boy, does she look like her breath smells? Why she get that close, fam? I just got foo-foo funk going all through the screen. Sit back. I need your back against that wall back there, okay? Get in the safe zone. Don't get all in the camera. You know what your forefathers come from? No, but I know where TikToks come from, okay? I know where TikToks come from. You're a TikTok tether. That's exactly right. Matter of fact, you're a TikTok tether who needs a Tic Tac. And the Tic Tacs come from the corner store. Lean all the way back. Okay, Miss Fufu, it ain't no good.
You've been greatly influenced, right? You've been greatly influenced by the new environment. The fact you are dark skin shows you are African by ancestry, even if you're not African by nationality.
Y'all can lie to yourself all you want, but them features don't lie. Baby, y'all definitely African.
It comes to a point where y'all start pissing me off. As a Black American, Black Americans are really starting to piss me off with the answer.
Uh-oh, y'all, we pissing her off. We pissing her off. She getting mad, and I'm questioning her lineage. Because remember, anytime someone starts off by saying as a Black American, they're probably not a Black American, okay? Understand that, fam. Understand that. Nobody walks in the room and they say, as a Black American, this is how I feel. If you're a Black American, you wouldn't have to say that. And then when you get closer to the screen, I'm looking at that forehead and I'm extra questioning your lineage, okay? This looks like an undercover in what we call now hidden tethers. These are hidden tethers right here, family, who think they're going to infiltrate from the inside because they can't do it from the outside. But she said we making her mad, okay? And so with the gleam off the top of that damn noggin.
Anti-Blackness, because that's what it is. Why are y'all mad that we're being compared to Africans? Why is that upsetting you? Why is that bothering you? We all Black, whether you're from the United Kingdom, you know what I'm saying, Europe, whether you're a Black American, wherever the fuck, give no fuck. Why are you getting mad that we're being compared to Africans? We look like them.
Of course, from the name, you're African. You cannot deassociate yourself from your roots. You are African. The fact that your grandparents or your ancestors came here in one way or the other doesn't change the fact that you're African. So why are you saying?
Our ancestors did not come here. Okay? Remember this, family. We didn't fly here. We reside here. Don't let these individuals come and preach that your ancestors came. Then how come you don't go to the white man and tell him that his ancestors came here from Europe then? How come you don't apply the same logic to them? How about you go run that game on Brad? Oh, you wouldn't do that on Brad because Brad gonna get mad. And when Brad gets mad, Miss Fufu gets sad. You see what I'm talking about, y'all? It's always trying to force that on FBA. Our ancestors did not come here. Our ancestors been here. Now, I understand they may not be able to read and they got poor comprehension skills. Let me clear it up for you. Your people came here last night on a boat. My people been here before you could even fathom what this landmass was. And no matter what you say, you can't change that. FBA are Americans.
Saying that we are everywhere but our country. I have Black American friends or Black African American friends, and they identify as African. They are proud of their roots, of their heritage. They are proud to be among Africans. They are proud to be among Africans. They love everything because we are one. We are Africans.
Can we please cut out the diaspora wars, please? All these Africans, I'm not blaming all of them, all these Africans, Americans saying, oh, we're not Africans, we're just American. It's got the word African American in the name. Are you dense? I have never seen a group of people deny their own background so hard. Oh no, I'm not from flipping what you call it. I'm not ethnically Nigerian, I'm purely white British. Look at me. Like, do you guys even realize how stupid you sound? Genuinely. It doesn't even take a Google search. You guys should have been taught in history that you originated from Africa. Whether you like it or not, you're one of us, bro. You're one of us, bro. You're not Native American, so stop pretending to be. It's actually irritating. And at the end of the day, flipping racist.
Nah, fam. I told y'all they was going to try to slide in the Native thing. Look at that right there. African Americans are African. You're not Native. Claim your roots. And by the way, is this the first tether we ever seen hide they tether forehead with their hair? And notice that he got his head at an angle, right? Notice he got his hair covering his forehead, and then he's got his head at an angle. You doing everything to hide your forehead, and then you want to come and tell me to be honest. No, you need to be honest, Mr. Fufu the Third. And we're going to be all the way brutally honest, okay? And we're going to put it clear. Nobody's going to tell us who the hell we are. You ain't going to bully us. I'm going to tell you like this right now. See, y'all may be used to getting bullied over there in Africa or wherever the hell. Foundational Black Americans ain't on that type of time. Family, we are the United States of America. We were the United States of America before there was a United States of America. All right. And now every single day, more and more receipts are coming out showing everybody that we are the indigenous, the native, the architects, the original, foundational, all of the above. And these people out here just running that game. But let me make this clear. They never pulled this game on the Europeans. Remember this, fam. This thing we're trying to tell people that they're from a place they've never been, then you need to tell that to all of these W's. I know a Jethro in the trailer park, and he ain't never been to England. Go tell him he's from England. Go tell him he's from Ireland. Go tell him he's from Italy. How about you run that same game on them? Because if you want to come over here and tell FBA that we're from somewhere we ain't never been, then I'm going to put it back on you. You from a place that you never been, Mr. Billy Bob, Mr. Jethro. But remember, they don't have that smoke for them. They don't got that smoke. And like I've been saying for the longest amount of time, if we really want to go there about Africa and we really want to state some facts, family, Africans have far more of a relationship historically to Europeans. I ain't lying. Family, examine the relationship between Africans and Europeans. I'm telling you now. And what you will see is far more conjunction with Europeans and Africans than ever with Africans and foundational Black Americans. Hell no. We have little to no type of interaction. To be real, I'm going to say something that nobody ever want to bring up, but we're going to bring it up right here on the Black Alpha Network, family. Let me make this clear. Do you know right now, 2025, August 5th, do you know this is the most interaction we've ever had with Africa in history? Do you know that, family? Do you know right now is the most communications that Black Americans have ever had with Africa? And it ain't too big because you don't see an African on your day-to-day basis. You may see one at the janky stores, which we don't go into, at the braided shops, which we don't go into. We don't have no intertwined history with Africa. Black Americans don't have that at all. Matter of fact, we've actually encountered more people from other places than Africa. However, Africa, on the other hand, has a rich, long, traditional history with the Europeaner. Yeah, so much that they were selling their mama to the Europeaner. Remember this, fam, and I stated this before. When you talk about all the people who colonized Africa, they didn't invade Africa. They were invited into Africa. Let's make this clear. When foundational Black Americans were coming out of slavery, Africa was going into slavery. But let me tell you the detail that they always hush-hush about. But Mr. Fufu, Mr. Joloff, I need you to pay attention because I'm going to teach you. This is what happens when a professor talks. You sit down and listen, Mr. Joloff. When you deal with the Africans going into colonization with the Berlin conferences and the scramble for Africa, do you know that they had already had communications, relationships, allyships, and kinships with Europeaners already for hundreds of years? Yeah. See, they want to tell you the story that they didn't know any type of Europeaner until the 1800s, until the Berlin conferences. No, you already had relationships with the Europeaner. How do you know? Because you had already been selling your family members to the Europeaner for hundreds of years. So you sold your mama, you sold your daddy, you sold the village to him for 400 years. And then on the 500th year, he came and he colonized the whole goddamn continent. Talk to me if you want to go there. See, they don't want no real smoke, family, because we know more about them than they know about them. And this is why they're always trying to dump that, well, Black Americans have no culture. Family, they only tell us that we don't have a culture because they understand we have a culture. They only tell us we don't know who we are because they know we know who we are. And they also tell us that because they know that we know that they ain't telling the truth, okay? You were dealing with the damn Europeaner for hundreds of years before he colonized you. So don't come around here and tell me that it's a new thing and it was a surprise. As a matter of fact, let me ask y'all this question. And I'm going to ask this to the family loud and proud. Who is closer in terms of proximity or relationship? I'm going to show y'all a map. Y'all look at this map right here. Check this out. Who has got a closer relationship? What you see on your left is something called the United States of America. That is the land that our ancestors created, family, okay? Your grandma, grandpa, grandma's grandma, and grandpa's grandpa built that way over there called the United States of America. What I see on the right side, which is in that big circle, that's Africa and Europe. I want you to notice that Africa and Europe, they border each other. I also want you to notice that Africa and Europe have had a rich tradition of being friends together and they're neighbors. And you can actually see Africa from Europe and you can see Europe from Africa. So it looks like you guys are far more closer than FBA. See that thing in the middle? That's called the Atlantic Ocean. And when you're dealing with the Atlantic Ocean, that's where we were. And we were over here in the Atlantic Ocean for thousands of years before they ever even knew what it was. They didn't even know who a Black American was at the time because we was over here doing our 1-2 thing. We were over here holding it down. We were over here keeping it real, and they were over there getting colonized. So in essence, family, if we want to keep it what it is, Africans and Europeans are best friends because they have a rich tradition of being around each other. Where foundational Black Americans cannot say the same. I tell this to everybody, and I'll say it again, family. Who do you know more, your neighbor or the person who lives on the other side of the country? I rest my case. So they can't talk that talk to us. But what we going to do, we going to give them receipts to them. And brothers and sisters ain't falling for the games. See, it's not a matter of us trying to convince them that we ain't African. It's a matter of us telling them we ain't African. See, it's FBA and I say so season. It's I'm a Black American and you just going to have to deal with it season. Oh, and I love this time frame, man. Oh, I love it. See, I remember a time when Black folks used to always trying to get their point across. We ain't trying to get nothing across. We got it across because it's done as soon as I say it. It's I'm FBA, I say so, receipt on the table, goodbye, if you want to play that game. And brothers and sisters out there, they're not playing that game with nobody. See, a change in attitude will change the world. And if you look right now, family, the world is changing because FBA changed our attitude and they ain't got no gratitude. Look at this. Brothers and sisters been standing on business, right? Well, let me tell you some of the business we've been standing on. This brother right here makes a good point. He said, how you going to be African-American, which means you from two places at the same time? I ain't lying. Talk your talk, Black man. Talk your damn talk and walk your damn walk. We in the house.
This is stupid to call yourself African American. See, that gives them the opportunity to take your money because the fact that you say African American, how you be from two places at one time? When you say you African, you label yourself an African. Listen to that, African American, African American. You put the African first, then you put American second. Instead of saying, "Oh, I'm American Indian," American Indian. That states who you are and what you are and what land you on. You go, I'm African American. African American? I never called myself an African American. And until y'all get that shit straight, they're going to get that money. Because y'all still labeling yourself African American. Y'all still putting Africa in front of America. Okay? I'm not no African American. And I don't know which one of y'all try to tell me who I am and what I'm. Y'all don't know who I am. And if y'all do.
Hold up. Damn, you hear all that I don't give a F-U-C-K energy? You hear all that I don't give a damn what you say, it's what I say, like it or not? Oh, he just putting all that energy on the table. Tell it how it is, my good brother. Notice, fam, this ain't the Black Lives Matter era. This ain't the why don't you like me? I try to be nice to you. This is the damn you. You don't like it? Cool. Goodbye. Peace the fuck out. That's the energy that we bring it. Don't let nobody tell you who the hell you are. You've always been who you are. Whether they acknowledge it or not, we acknowledge that we better than them and they best to deal with it. Tell them how it is, black man.
Do call me African American, I'm going to smack you. Because the fact is, you disrespectful. I'm an Indian. That's all to it. American Indian. No African in it. No African in my blood at all.
I find it hilarious that people that flee from their own country, that cannot build their own country up, that cannot make their own country safe, you are scared to live in your own country. Come to America and try to talk crap. See, the difference with other people and Black Americans is we've never ran from anything. We stayed and flat-footed fought whatever was sent to destroy us. That's the difference between us and all of the rest of the minorities, if you're ever wondering. That's the very difference.
Why would I go to Africa when you're moving here? You're moving here and staying here. You're not going back. And this is not hearsay, because unlike many of my people, I've actually had community with people. I've had community with Africans. Y'all not trying to go back. Slowly but surely, you bring your family over here. Yeah, y'all want us to go to Africa to live and invest. I don't think so. It's not going to happen. Okay, this is our home. You're going to have to accept it. And if you can't accept it, well, you do have a whole continent of options. You get it. Good day, sir.
Freeze. I mean, did the sister not say the 3 billion pound African elephant in the room? Did she not say the 300-pound zebra in the room? I'm just keeping it real. Why are you telling us about us while you over here around us? Because you could easily go home. And you got that big continent that you like to brag about. So I'm asking, why ain't you in that continent? This is another tether contradiction. But let me give you an FBA fact and receipt. Brothers and sisters up in New York City been filming a lot of videos about this African boycott. And what I've been seeing is a lot of them African shops, they took the day off. Yes, indeed. Family social media is littered with a gang of videos from FBA, and they walking around to the African shops. And on August 1st, them African shops shut down. Why'd they shut down? Because they knew they was going to get shut down regardless. Watch this brother pull up, and he said they all gone. And he said he on their heels too. FBA keep winning. Tethers keep swimming.
Why? Better not be nobody in there. Empty. I better stop playing. I'm on your heels.
Black Americans, when they get to talking like this, I want y'all to know that we don't owe a nigga. See, what I notice about these other groups of people, especially these other groups of blacks, is that they like to use shaming tactics or say things that they supposedly did for us as an excuse of why they get to come here and disrespect us, or why we need to be united or acknowledge them. And that's why we here to set the record straight. Watch this. To all the Africans, we are not all from Africa. Some of us are indigenous to America. We don't know you, boy. My family's from Miami and St. Louis. I don't owe you. We don't owe you no unity. We're not one big family. You don't get here. You don't get to come here and be disrespectful. To the Mexicans, y'all ain't contribute to the runaway slaves. That was the black Mexicans. Y'all ain't do shit. And then y'all the black Mexicans in Mexico. We don't owe you nothing, boy. To all the Haitians, kudos and credit to what you did on Haiti, but that ain't do for us in America. And we don't owe you. We've been revolting since 1526. We've been like that and been on that, on this larger landmass. It's not no small island.
Damn.
We've been putting BTA to these crackers since 1526 in all 50 states. We don't owe you nothing. No unity, no recognition. No, we do not look up to you. And folks, we forced y'all to sign them paperwork for freedom. You already knew what kind of time we was on. It was going to go down one way or another. You know what I'm saying? For the Florida Semblers to the Nat Turners, it wasn't going to stop. Y'all just got wise and went ahead and said, let's go ahead and sign these documents. We don't owe y'all nothing. Y'all ain't got no hearts. Y'all ain't got no souls. You would have kept this shit going if it wasn't for these BTAs across all 50 states. And last but not least, the Native Americans. Y'all owe us.
Get them.
Because the last time I checked, that U.S. Treaty of 1866 that them boys made y'all sign said that you owed the freemen, the slaves that you had during slavery and after slavery, the same reparations that the boys was giving you. So that's the land, the reservations that you on. You're supposed to be sharing that with us. The government funding that you're getting, something that's supposed to be going to us. And you owe us natural citizenship into your tribes. I'm supposed to be with the Seminoles right now. So what's up?
This is stupid to call yourself African.
Man. Let me tell you something. When foundational Black Americans is cooking, you let them cook, okay? And I see y'all in the chat cooking. Shout out to the Bronx. I see y'all in the building. Much love to the BX. Check me out, family. This is what we mean. The brother went down the list. And when you go down the list, what do you keep seeing, fam? You keep seeing people that tell us we own something. We don't owe y'all nothing but a you know what. And y'all know what I'm talking about, right? We owe apologies to nobody. Nobody's going to force us to apologize for something we never did. If you got a problem with FBA, then just go ahead and say it, and the FBA will see to it and we'll handle that. Easy work. That go for the tethers, the trolls, and anybody else. We don't owe anybody nothing, fam, because we've been out here holding it down for everyone. Nobody's ever done nothing for foundational Black Americans. The only people who've ever done something for foundational Black Americans are foundational Black Americans. What the old saying go? You looking at the people who made us rich. You looking at the people who got us here. It's right there. I want to go see who is responsible for my lineage being so great. All I got to do is go look at one of y'all, because y'all are the reflection of the family tree. Family, if you want to see why foundational Black Americans are so exceptional and what got us here to this point, all you got to do is go look at each other in the eyes. I don't have to go look at Mr. Jorge, Mr. Mutombo, because they ain't never do a damn thing for me. And I don't give a damn how many videos they make. It doesn't change the fact that foundational Black Americans, we are the only ones who have ever done anything for ourselves, and that pisses everybody off because they want to tell this tale that they're the originators, that they're the ones who started it, that they're the ones who came here. And what's making everybody mad and upset, y'all, they're getting mad and upset because this generation, this lineage, this heritage, we are claiming our true ancestral power. And our ancestral power is something the world wasn't ready for. I want everybody to think about this, right? They always want to make us Africanized because when we're Africanized, we don't get the resources that belonging to us. We don't get the historical facts that we created. That's the difference between then and now. Now, once we start saying who the hell we were, everybody's in disarray. They're putting out pictures and videos now trying to tell us that these other people are the original. Look at this. Y'all want to see a receipt and you want to see an after effect of FBA standing on patriotism? Look at this, fam. This is what they're putting out now. They never put this out before, but I guarantee you they are now. Look how afraid we've got these individuals. Do y'all see this right here? Y'all look at y'all screen. Look at this right here, family. Native Americans. And who do they have there, family? They got a bunch of old Mayo men. Why are they doing that now? I'm going to tell you why they're doing that now. They're doing that now, family, because they're trying to counteract the fact that foundational Black Americans have taken this whole who's the native thing, and then we done flipped it upside down on his head. So you already got the $2 Tonto, and he been running around here saying he's a native. What did we do to him? We took his identity theft and snatched it away from him. So now the Mayos are saying, damn, Black Americans exposed the original tether, which is the $2 Tonto. So now what we got to do, we got to start saying we're the Native Americans. So there's this whole thing on who's the real natives that they never had these conversations before until now. Now they're having these conversations because FBA has made it a conversation. Follow me now, brothers and sisters. You only get this type of energy if you get our type of energy. What FBA is out here creating has everybody scrambling and running around. That's good. I see this is great. Why is this a good and a great thing, family? Because what it does, it highlights the fact that FBA, Certified Black Society, has stripped away every lie. And it also exposes the fact that they thought we didn't know, but we damn sure know. So you've been trying to keep us away from who we are, and now you're finding out that you can't hide the truth no matter how much you try. And a lot of things have been getting exposed no matter how much they try, and that's the main one, family. So you're going to see more of those, and you're going to see more of this G-checking, and the reckoning is upon them. And family, there's been a lot of things that have been coming about that FBA has been creating simply by standing on patriotism, fam. We weren't supposed to do that. Y'all hearing now that they're changing who can speak what languages and what places? Oh, that's all because of FBA. Donald Trump just came out and he said, let me tell you this. He said, all that bilingual stuff, that's a wrap. You're going to have to speak English. Who's responsible for that? FBA. And I'm going to tell you why foundational Black Americans are responsible for that. Foundational Black Americans are responsible for that law being passed because foundational Black Americans been the only ones representing America. Family, right now, I ask everybody, who are the people representing America the most? We say foundational Black American. Y'all tell me anything that they have with the Mayo community. It's going to be Democrat. It's going to be Republican. It's going to be the Triple K. It's going to be the Proud Boys, the Boogaloo Boys. They ain't got American in their name. What we talking about Julio Romero? Julio Romero, what they got? The Cartel? Is that what they got? El Ragua? What they got? Mr. Fufu, he ain't got nothing. What? Mr. Joloff? Nobody has anything in regards to America in their social movements but us. We are the talk of America. Black Americans in this reparations generation, this Renaissance era, we're the only ones out here representing the United States. If you look how they talk about America. You got the damn dominant society having a war. You got the Democrats saying we need to bring in non-Americans and elevate them above Americans. They talking about they want to see the president go down. That's very goddamn unpatriotic. You got the dominant society. They're not representing America. We're the only ones doing it. This is why the world shook right now, because foundational Black Americans are the only proud Americans in the room. And you know what really pisses them off? We're not proud about Mr. Mayo Bob, Mr. Jethro. We're not waving the flag for Andrew Jackson, Benjamin Franklin. Give a damn about all of them. We're not waving the flag for Ronald Reagan. He can have that. What we're doing, we're waving the American flag for foundational Black Americans, and they can have whatever they want. It's a big difference, fam. This is why FBA is the talk of the town. This is why we got the key to the city. And this is why you're seeing laws get passed saying either you speak the language or you get the hell out the country. This only goes down because of FBA. Watch this, fam.
Speak English or get out of my country.
Big Trump and not the little one on that, ending that bilingual requirement in the United States. Come on, Trump, come through like an 18-wheeler. I mean, that made so much sense for you to do. I'm so happy that you did that. Listen, the fact that people have been saying you need to be bilingual in order to get any type of job in the United States, boo, blows my mind. Instead of saying you need to learn to speak English when you touch down in the United States, that's no form of hate. That's no form of nothing. That's form of common sense. English is our first language here. And if you want to move here and be amongst the Americans and join America, you need to learn to speak English so you can service the people who speak English. Yeah. I know everyone speaks all these other languages. Most Americans, we don't understand none of that. English is the first language. Let's go, Donald Trump.
Yeah. Big talk, man. I'm back again, man. See, I'm happy what Trump did, man. See, Trump, you know, he come through like the A train. You hear me? He come through like the A train, setting the law for this whole bilingual thing. No more bilingual. That means when you go to a job and you fill out your application or you do it online, there will not be an option with say bilingual. It's no more. But that's a big thing in Miami. You know what I'm saying? Because you got certain jobs down here, you got to be a bilingual. You know what I'm saying? Certain certificates, certain license, and you know what I'm saying? No, that shit ain't going down like that. No.
Did he just say no more Espanol, bitch? Okay, listen. Trump is doing more for the Black community than any other president has ever done. Because guess what that just opened up, y'all? Guess what it just opened up? The job market. Okay. The job market, listen. There have been times where I've been trying to apply for a job, and because the whole application is in Spanish, i.e. Marriott hotel housekeeping job, I wanted that job so bad. They paid great. They gave great tips. But could I do it? No, because me no speak no Espanol.
Remember when the Democrats told us, what you mean black jobs? He's so racist. He said that the illegals was taking black jobs away. You see what we were saying, fam, when we call that is cap? You damn right it's cap. And I also want y'all to notice, you don't see white folks making these videos. It's a bunch of black Americans making these videos because black Americans are the only real patriots in America. I rest my case.
The fuck? No more fucking bilingual. Like other places don't offer multilingual services. They don't have an English option. There's no English option in other countries. But y'all come here and then y'all want to fucking make jobs and be like, oh, only you have to be able to speak Spanish. You have to be able to speak Mandarin. You got to be able to speak Russian. Bitch, no, I speak English and you're in my country. Get the fuck. Thank you, Trump. Thank you. Thank you. I can't thank you enough.
Speak English or get out of my country.
Big Trump and not the little one.
There they go. Fam, that goes back to what we've been saying the whole time. It only gets this way when you foundational, fam. It only gets that way. Notice how we keep connecting the dots and all signs go back to us being the authentic, the real, the certified Americans. And you don't see that same patriotic energy. How many of y'all remember a time when every time we would say something, they'd be like, oh, you're being unpatriotic. Notice that, y'all. I want y'all to think about that. Notice that you don't hear that y'all being un-American talk anymore. Remember, they used to always pull that on black Americans? Oh, that's unpatriotic. That's un-American. You can't say that to us no more. You can't say that to us no more because we're leading with patriotism. We're leading with exceptionalism to the United States and our lineage, and we're reclaiming our roots here. They can't pull that no more. Remember, that used to always be the main thing. You call out supremacy, first thing they would say is, well, you're being un-American. Oh, that's not the American way to go. You can't say that no more because we're representing America more than they are. You understand? And to be honest with you, they're looking very hypocritical because every time they bring up America, we point out white supremacy. What's more unpatriotic than white supremacy? Huh? They can't put that jacket on us because they're going to say, well, if we got white supremacy, y'all got FBA. No, FBA is Foundational Black America, which is a nation. White supremacy is about racism amongst white people. See, you're playing the race card. You're playing the race card with white supremacy. We're playing the patriotic card with Foundational Black America. You see why a lineage-based movement is so pivotal and so powerful and so indicative of moving forward? They can't run those games on us. No, the hell they can't. And this is the difference between then and now. Now we're pushing and telling them, you're unpatriotic. I had a space not that long ago. I don't know if y'all remember. Some W dude called in and he was talking real reckless. And I was like, you sound very unpatriotic, sir. And you could see him. He was just like, whoa, how do I handle being called unpatriotic by a black person? This is what they're not used to. And they're going to have to stay getting used to it because it ain't going nowhere. That's the difference between this generation and all the previous generations. All that stuff of, I don't like America. America ain't never did a damn thing for me. That's that old way of doing things. This is the new way of doing things. And the new way of doing things is truly changing the game. And it's changing the game in real time. And it's changing the game so much, family, that anybody who comes here and they disrespect foundational Black Americans, all of that now is being seen as you attacking America. You understand that? See, when they come over here and they disrespect FBA, that's not being seen as you're attacking those generic Africans over there. That used to be the way. Anytime you say something against FBA, now people looking at you and saying, whoa, you're attacking the country. Let me give you an example. Y'all remember all those tethers that were coming out just a few weeks ago and they was making all those anti-FBA videos and all those threats? Do you guys know that now it's getting to Washington, D.C., and it's getting to the United States government because Black Americans, they've been adding and tweeting to Donald Trump and his administration, hey, this is a threat coming from a tether. We broke them all down. We were right here saying, oh, that's a threat. That's a tetheristic threat. Let me tell you, all that tetheristic behavior now has fell on the table of Donald Trump and his administration. So now you're seeing the government look at a lot of these tethers and say, wait a minute, if you're from Africa and you make a threat against a foundational Black American, well, a foundational Black American's an American, so you just made a threat against a citizen. You see the power of patriotism? Let me show y'all. I can show you better than I can tell you. Family, let me make this clear. Tethers now are backtracking because the government done caught word of all them damn threats. And salute to y'all, because every single one of them, y'all was calling their jobs, y'all was calling them employers, y'all was hitting up the government and saying, we got a terroristic threat against American citizens, code red, somebody calling them boys. And damn it, I'd be lying if I told you the boys wasn't coming in. Y'all look at this right here. Word on the street is that all them phone calls done reached the desk of the president. Watch this.
Black Americans, we playing a good game. We playing a good game. So we got to keep it up, because what I just got confirmation on is this situation with Black Americans and Africans is currently being reviewed in Washington. It's on quite a few desks. It's in quite a few offices. Now, what was told to me is that they are looking at Africans as a possible national security issue to Americans.
Damn! A possible national security issue to Americans. You heard it right.
This situation with Black Americans and Africans is currently being reviewed in Washington. It's on quite a few desks. It's in quite a few offices. Now, what was told to me is that they are looking at Africans as a possible national security issue to Americans. They're not saying Black Americans, because what Africans don't realize is we are Americans. You are not. Most of these people that have made content, most of them did not realize that they are speaking in defense of their country of origin and not.
Fam, it's about to get extra real in the field, and we're going to give them something they can feel. How do you know that? Y'all remember that nurse that was talking real reckless a few days ago, right? Remember all that? I declare war on you, and I want the Mexicans. She said she wanted the whole migrant Voltron to form against Black Americans, right? Let me show y'all this now. She done came out and she's crying, everybody. And I'm going to show it to you. Watch this. She came out and she's in full tears and she wants you to apologize. So I'm going to ask y'all, do y'all feel sorry for her? Do you accept her apology? Because she made some terroristic threats against citizens. Now the government is cracking down on that. So I'm going to ask y'all one more time. Do you accept Miss Nurse Fufu's apology? Because Nurse Fufu said she didn't mean it. And she wants Black Americans to know that she really just loves you. Here we go.
Each and every one of you who may have seen the video that was edited. And as a person, I know when you see that video for the very first time, you will be disgusted. And I'm here to say I'm sorry. I did not mean evil. I did not mean any bad intention for anybody. God come first. I'm alive today because of the United States. I was brutally raped in my country, beaten in my country for just speaking out. It took the United States government to stand up for me, to speak for me. So I always say to anybody, God come first, but I owe this country my life. That's why I will go to defend this nation anywhere at any given time. It's unfortunate that people from my country, Liberia, who we have political differences, are using this as a weapon to attack me. And I want to say to my Black American brothers and sisters, I love you. I don't have no bad intention for you.
She said she loves y'all. She said she apologizes for making terroristic threats. I'm hearing that she heard from the United States government and Homeland Security about them damn threats now. So these tethers getting some act right now, and they trying to backtrack. This is what it sounds like. She said she's sorry, and notice now, she throwing her country under the bus. She said this is all because of her country in Liberia that was trying to harm her, so she's just upset. She said she's got PTSD, all right? Post-tether stress disorder. And she says that's the reason. So she's pulling it's the government. I was only mean to y'all Black Americans because what Africans did. Y'all see how quick they'll throw each other under the bus? Y'all see how quick they're willing to sell each other out? Get a little heat, and then now they start snitching. Here we go.
My fiancé is part of you. I don't hate you, and I will never hate you. I'm in a relationship with an American. I can never.
She just pulled, I got an American boyfriend. Did she just say I got a black friend? Fam, she going way into the bag of excuses. It's the government. It's Liberia. I got a black American boyfriend. No, you don't. Ain't no black American want that. I don't even think Clyburn will want that. And that's telling you something. Gosh damn. Who you talking about, Miss Fufu? She pulling, I got a friend. I cannot be, wait, there's no way that I could be a racist. I've got a black American friend.
Hate America. I never hate Americans. I love you. There will be no way that I will hate you. You are part of me. I am part of you. This country open for those for me. The level of hate that you have for me, all because of politics. I pray that God forgive you. I really pray God forgive you because you have no idea what you're doing.
She crying, y'all. You see the Tether act right? She crying. She wasn't doing this just 2 weeks ago. And listen to what they said on the caption. This lady isn't sorry. She just doesn't like the backlash and repercussions she's received. She is still blaming Black Americans for editing her video and making her say those hateful and disgusting things. And she's crying.
God forgive you. Editing my video and pushing an agenda. God forgive you. Honestly, Liberians, God forgive all of you that do this. To my African American, I don't hate you. I don't have a single hate towards any one of you. And to every other American, I don't have a single blood in me to hate you. Because we are human. God created all of us equally. And my Bible teaches me to love and care for people.
Did she just hit us with an all lives matter, y'all? Did she just say we all humans? All lives matter. All tethers matter too. And then, like these people always do, fam, notice that they always recite Jesus in the Bible. You see, hold on, wait a minute now. What about they got a culture? I thought y'all had a culture. Shouldn't you be talking about some of those African deities? No, I want y'all to notice how quick they always start reciting the white man, and then they try to say that we want to be the white man. No, sound like you got everything about him, and keep crying.
I'm a caregiver. I become a caregiver because there was time I couldn't shower myself. People had to shower me. That's why I became a caregiver. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I hurt any one of you. If my words hurt any one of you, I'm sorry. Each and everyone.
There they go, fam. You cannot make this up. You can't make it up, fam, because we knew it was coming. Look at the tether act right. Notice that these tethers is getting in right position. Remember, they weren't doing that a couple days ago. A couple days ago, they had every name in the book for foundational Black Americans, right? They was talking real reckless about FBA. Now she crying, I did not mean to. The government made me do it, and Mr. Fufu told me if it wasn't for Mr. Fufu, I'd never make video. You see what we saying, fam? It's always an excuse. It's always some type of element where they can go back and they can backtrack. And nothing's working for them because FBA really, genuinely, sincerely knows who they are. Everybody's been getting that foundational Black American August energy, fam. And it's a beautiful, powerful thing. And when I tell you it's a beautiful, powerful thing, fam, you're starting to see it pop up everywhere, okay? This lineage-based movement went and it's infiltrated all elements of society. You're seeing everybody now is talking about Black American. I hear Black American way more than I ever hear the term African American. African American is a defunct term. African American does not exist. All right. Black American, foundational Black American, freedmen, all of those terms that are specific and exclusive to us are the terms that are reigning supreme. And everybody's witnessing and realizing it. And you're starting to see some riders pop up, y'all. Every single day, there's a new rider putting an end to all of that energy. That energy's gone. So all this thing of y'all Africans and go back to Africa, it ain't working. And I'm going to tell you why it's not working. Because the more they try to put that off on FBA, the more they're going to crash out. And the more they crash out, FBA is going to make it clear there's only one true American, y'all. Because remember, the dominant society, they favor supremacy over being an American. They don't value being an American. Trust me, let me tell you this. If it came down to America or white supremacy. They like to see America drowned. That's what it is. The dominant society will pick white supremacy over America all day. So that disqualifies them from being the true patriots. All that patriot talk, that's just intertwined with their white supremacy. If they can't get America and white supremacy at the exact same time, then they'll denounce America before they'll ever denounce white supremacy. So they're not the true patriots. All these other people who come here and they flee to this country, like Miss Fufu, who was just crying, she be the first one to turn on her country. She turned on America. You seen what the Mexicans were doing just a few weeks ago. They were out there burning the American flag. So more and more people on the battlefield are showing you that they're not America first. The only Americans are foundational Black Americans. You know why? Let me tell you why. Because we're the originators. See, the original person always knows it best. Shout out to Mumia Abu Jamal. He said, he who feels it more knows it more. And we know it more because we felt it all. We were here in America before they ever showed up. And you know you're going to get the same excuses over and over. So this is why they're always trying to get FBA on board with whatever they're trying to get FBA on board with. And nothing that they're doing is working. Like we said, it's all crashing out, and it should crash out, because there's only one thing that we can do, fam, is let everybody know what it is, man. When I tell y'all, though, there's been some real rioting and you're seeing real Black American energy. Y'all, did y'all see this video right here? Man, this sister came out right here and she was out there telling everybody, Carla D. Cunningham, watch this, fam. This is what I mean when I say delineation, separation, and regulation is in all elements of American society and is brought to you by us. Watch this right here and tell me that this ain't a reflection of all 3,000, I repeat, 3,000 of y'all in the chat. FBA run it.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today is a new day. But I'd like to take a moment to reintroduce myself to each of you. I am ADOS, American Descendants of Slaves. I am a Black American, and I am an American. I'm going to present my case in support of House Bill 318, as it is time for my unapologetic truth to be shared with all of you. First, as a people, we need to recognize that it's not just the numbers that matter, but also where the immigrants come from and the culture they bring with them to another country. As the social scientists report, all cultures are not equal. Some immigrants come and believe they can function in isolation, refusing to adapt. They have come to our country for many reasons, but I suggest they must assimilate, adapt to the culture of the country they wish to live in. No country is going to allow people to come in and not acknowledge its constitution, legal systems, and laws. They will not tolerate it. So do you think I can go to another country and set up my own rules to live by, use the language I choose, and then tell that country that you must speak my language? That's not going to happen, nor should it. As a country, the United States has been more tolerant than most other countries. Other countries are making it much more difficult to get citizenship. We have been naive. We have been exploited and abused by the different tactics to gain citizenship in America. It's time to wake up. Global migration in the past was not projected to be as it is today. We must establish new rules to address a distinct type of migration that we are facing in our country, state, and cities. It's time to turn the conveyor belt off and adopt a global migration suitable for the times that we're in. And that is not destabilizing our communities.
Family, that's exactly what we've been talking about the whole damn time. Let's be real. And again, it's a Black American on the forefront of the immigration issue. Remember, Donald Trump just rode the wave that we paved. when we were out here talking about reparations, when we were out here talking about American citizenship and the problems that migration was causing, it was us who really put that on the line. And the Africans were the main ones out here trying to get involved and trying to stop us from doing it. Everything is a cheap attempt to stop us from stopping them from coming into our community and trying to erase us. Everything they're doing. Every time they run their mouth, every excuse, every TikTok video, TikTok where they need a tic-tac, all that is basically them saying, FBA, please stop delineating, because delineation hurts pockets. Delineation dries off all the money. See, when you talk about a delineation process, that ruins everything for everybody. Delineation, it makes their pockets empty, and delineation dries up all that free money that they've been getting from America based on the backs of our ancestors. And they don't really like that too much because they like everything to come to them for free. So when the sister was just there saying it, that's once again us representing what we talk about in the grassroots on the grand scale. So now, family, they're trying to circle the block, okay? They're trying to spin the block. They're trying to come back now with this go back to Africa thing. And I want everybody to notice, this is a sham. This is a bag involved, okay? You're starting to see Ciara pop up, Ludacris pop up, then you've seen Spike Lee pop up. Why do y'all think this is the case? And why do you keep seeing Benin or Benin or whatever Nigeria? The reason being, fam, is because they are now in their last grasp. I told everybody, tethers are in their last phase. All right. You talking about the TPS, the visas. They don't got time to waste. They got to try to tear us down now. It used to be, well, we'll wait a little bit. We'll get them out with Kamala. Kamala ain't walking through that door. We'll get them out with Biden. Biden ain't walking through that door. So now the tethers are out here desperate. When you got sisters like her who are sitting there saying, we need to cut off all the migration, immigration, and they need to watch how they talk. Ain't that exactly what Donald Trump just did when he stopped them from speaking with all the bilingual and do you speak Spanish? That's the same exact thing. So I want y'all to notice what the sister said in the grassroots and the law that Donald Trump just passed about stopping all the bilingual acts and all the policies. Those are coinciding. They don't like the fact that the Trump administration's policies in terms of immigration and the foundational Black American grassroots, they're going side to side. They don't like that. You got deportation and delineation. And the fact that they both showed up at the same exact time, it's treacherous for them. And I'm going to tell you what's even more treacherous. The fact that they're trying to send out everybody they can now, picking up the phone. And what we're living in is the last grasp of, can we please get these Black Americans to go to Africa? And the more we stand on business, the more they desperate. Watch what I'm trying to tell y'all. They done sent out Spike Lee to be the damn appointed ambassador put to Benin, Nigeria. This is just like the African Union. Nobody gave verification for this. Who the hell said we want Spike Lee to represent us? What the hell has he ever done? Or is this a Democratic cash grab? Remember, the Democrats, they fund Nigeria. Watch and observe.
Spike Lee and his wife, Tanya Lewis Lee.
So while African-American.
Spike Lee and his wife, Tanya Lewis Lee, acclaimed filmmakers and producers, respectively, have been appointed as official ambassadors of Benin to the African diaspora in the United States, a role that recognizes their long-standing advocacy for civil rights, Black identity, and powerful storytelling.
What?
With decades of experience in film and narrative, the Lees have consistently amplified African and African-American voices on the global stage.
What?
Now, as thematic ambassadors, they will help raise awareness and support initiatives that strengthen Benin's ties with people of African descent, aligning with the country's broader strategy to reconnect the diaspora with its roots and promote cultural tourism. This appointment comes amid historic developments in Benin, including a groundbreaking law granting a formal pathway to citizenship for descendants of the transatlantic slave trade, supported by initiatives like the My Afro Origins platform. The program has already drawn global attention, with Grammy Award-winning artist Ciara becoming the first African-American to receive citizenship, followed by Ms. Lauryn Hill's participation in ancestral and citizenship celebrations in Cotonou. By joining nations such as Ghana, Sierra Leone, and Liberia in extending such invitations, Benin is solidifying its position as a leader in diaspora engagement, an effort that the Lees are uniquely poised to champion. Spike Lee and his wife, Tanya Lewis Lee.
So while African-American.
Y'all heard that right there? Where in the world did Spike Lee ever do anything for Black Americans on the global stage? Made a movie? Is this what we're talking about? Y'all see this now? Now they're just trying to force people. Remember, it was Steve Harvey with y'all is us. Remember that a couple years ago, right? None of that worked. This is their last go around now to try to force feed us this and just making up titles. Spike Lee and his wife have done so many things for black people all across the globe. Name me one. Name me one. You got all day. I'll wait. Tell me what Spike Lee has ever done. He ain't did a damn thing. And then they send out Ciara and they got Ludacris coming around. Y'all think this is all in coincidence that this happened the same exact time that we're boycotting all of these Africans? This starts popping up out of nowhere? Nah, family. And they're sending out the TikTok tethers to say exactly what we're saying now. Watch this. They're saying, well, why y'all black Americans is out here boycotting, Spike Lee out here holding it down. Y'all watch. Let me show y'all. They sending out all the tethers now, and the tethers are making it look like black Americans, y'all better get on board because it's going to be one big Africa soon. Y'all know what time it is.
So while African Americans have decided that they're going to be boycotting African businesses August 1st, Spike Lee, the American filmmaker and seasoned author, and his wife, Tonya, they have decided, they have signed paperwork with Benin Republic to be their ambassador. So these two super talented individuals are going to be the ones to stand in the face of bringing more African Americans to Benin Republic, whether for tourism's sake or whether to stay. I think it's a brilliant idea because given what's happening right now, is as if we have forgotten how far we've come as people. For us to sit down and say,
we've forgotten how far we've come? What do you mean we? What you talking about, Miss Joloff? You mean we in terms of FBA? We've come so far. Y'all has still over there with the colonizer right now. The colonizer's the one paying for all of this. Who the hell do you think is the one paying for this? Because the Nigerian government's in bed with the same people who are colonizing your homeland. Fam, y'all notice they're always trying to tell us things about Africa and saying we need to get together because we are all going back to Africa. The people who are financing and bankrolling all of this are the same white Americans who the African leaders are in bed with. And they don't even know it, but they want to come and try to lecture us about supremacy. Spike Lee's getting the bag from the Democrats. His wife is getting a bag from the Democrats. Don't try me, Miss Fufu.
We are going to go to war with each other. It means we have exhausted every means to communicate with each other. You know, Kwame Nkrumah, Malcolm X, and Martin Luther King, all these men and women, right, who have fought to bring us to this level, to this space. These people are probably turning in their grave.
Don't bring up Martin Luther King. Don't bring up Malcolm X. There they go again, fam. Notice that they always bring up people who are from America. Y'all notice that, right? They don't ever bring up African leaders, African pillars, African activists that promoted a Pan-Africanism, a unity with us. They always bring up us to try to talk about unity with them. They don't ever have any examples from people who are from Africa. Tell me someone from Africa who has been on the forefront of this. Because anybody from Africa that ever talked about rocking with us, y'all took them out. Y'all the ones who unalived all the leaders that had a pro-African message. You want to know the quickest way to get ran out the pain in Africa? Talk about doing something good for Africa. And it won't even be the W. It'll be another African who does it to you. So don't keep using black American activists. This is why they're upset, fam. Is because we calling them bluff on all that. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. And then when they start bringing up Stokely Carmichael, he came over here to get it popping in America. And it's cool, much respect. And then when they start bringing up Marcus Garvey, he came over here to get it popping. Okay, so every single thing that you say in terms of examples are still people who had to come to America. Give me the African who was promoting that message. And then tell me if they're still around or did y'all take them out?
The Harriets and all those women that have stood just to make sure that
the Harriet, the family, did she just say the Harriet? Do you mean Harriet Tubman? Did she just say the Harriet? She don't even know her name. She don't even know her name, but got the nerve to make me a TikTok video on Tether Time. She just disrespected Harriet Tubman because you don't even know who Harriet Tubman is. Same way you don't know about resistance supremacy. Same way you don't know about FBA, Black Americans, freedmen, what y'all grandma, what my grandma, what your grandpa, what my grandpa been through. You don't know none of that. All you doing is just tether babbling because you trying to get us on board to save your homeland and pay off your debt to the colonizer. She just said the Harriet. She don't even know the lady's name. Now, would any foundational Black American say, what's that lady name? The Harriet and the P. Newton? Or what about the Seal? What about the Hampton Fred? What about the X Malcolm? What? This is disrespectful, family. And all of this, why she's trying to lecture us. This is that tether babble.
Harriet and all those women that have stood.
Nope. And then she says, all those women. Name some of them. Name some. Name some of the women. How many foundational Black American women do we got to pick from? She just said the Harriet and all those women. What the hell does that mean, Miss Joloff? And I'm wondering why the hairline is way on top of Spike Lee's glasses. Okay? It's supposed to be forward. She said the Harriet and all those women. No respect for our women. And foundational Black American women have been the strongest women. If you want to talk about fighting supremacy, no woman on the earth has ever done as much as foundational Black American women. Our women outclass their men. You right now go find me an African man and I'll put up my baddest FBA sister. And my sister has outclassed their men. This is why she's sitting there talking about some the Harriet and all them women. She ain't got nothing to say. She don't say Assata Shakur. She don't say Kathleen Cleaver. She left all of that out.
Their graves, the Harriet and all those women that have stood just to make sure that we are able to sit in unity. And now you want to tell me that we are boycotting each other. Whether if it's Africans that are deciding to boycott African Americans, I won't be a part of it. If it's African Americans that are deciding to boycott Africans, I won't be a part of it because it is senseless on every level. You can decide who you want to be called, but to fight against each other means we are missing the point. While we are at it, people are making the world better, by doing this. So I just thought this was a great way to hopefully bring us back to center and remind us of how far we've come. It's not about fighting each other. It's about finding ways to create a dialogue that bridge our gap with respecting our differences, right? That's all I gotta say, man. Emotion is my name. I'm a visual storyteller who happens to be visually impaired, and I love covering African stories. So while African American
family, did she just sit there and tell all of us what we need to do? Did she just sit there and tell us what we need to do? She said she's a storyteller and ain't even got the story right. Can I make this clear? Harriet Tubman was not out there fighting for Africa. Where in the world do they come up with this logic, y'all, that Black Americans who were trying to escape slavery were doing it for Africa? They didn't even know what Africa is. Can I be honest with y'all, fam? I'm going to keep it all the way real. They were not thinking about Africa. And do you know how distant, if at all, Africa was in any Black American's mind during slavery? You're talking about slavery right here in the United States of America. And they mean to tell us that she was thinking about Africa. So Harriet Tubman was trying to get us out of slavery so what, we can go to Africa? Quit trying to tell us that what, Robert Smalls in South Carolina, what was he doing? Trying to get us to go to Africa? Nobody back then during chattel slavery in the United States of America was thinking about Africa. But isn't it funny though, y'all? Can I tell y'all the contradiction? Watch this contradiction right here. Oh, I got him. They in trouble now. I thought they told us that we don't know who we are. I thought they told us that we were stripped of our culture. That's what they told us, fam. So if Black Americans don't know who they are, then by their logic, wouldn't we not know that we was from Africa? If Black Americans were stripped of everything that we had, ain't that saying that we were stripped from knowing about Africa? Oh, wait a minute now. Hold on. Ho. I think we got you, Miss Joloff and Mr. Joloff. They tell us that we were stripped from our culture and we don't know who we are, but somehow we maintain knowing about Africa. Family, do you really believe in the 1600s, before there were atlas, when the majority of the globe was illiterate, that Black Americans who were in slavery knew about Africa? No, you knew about your homeland. Fam, people didn't even know about California. California didn't know about Alabama unless you were a direct descendant of. unless you were a direct descendant of in chattel slavery with the worst conditions, you didn't even know too much about the next city over. Hell, you got people today who don't know about the next city over. So how in the hell were Black Americans thinking, you know what, we got to get back to Africa? And then you know what, fam? On top of that, they were never from Africa to know about Africa, never been to Africa. Let me tell you what they did know. They knew about grandma and grandpa who told them, you from right here. Why do you think we had such a narrow-minded focus about America? Because we're American and we've been here for 100,000 years. That's the reason why. And so when they trying to send us Spike Lee, I want y'all to see the play here, all right? They're always trying to tell us, oh, if you want to be called Black American, no, see, it's not a matter of what. I want y'all to notice that little sleight of hand, right? If y'all want to be, like, well, if y'all want to be called that, that's like someone trying to tell you, well, if you want to call your kid by his name, and if you want to call your wife or your husband by their name, it ain't a matter of what, it's a matter of is, okay? And if you want to come over here to my country, you better wipe your feet at the door. If not, then your ass is getting Uncle Phil out the goddamn place. Y'all look at this right here. Spike Lee has been working with the Democrats for quite some time. Yes, he has. Spike Lee on backing Kamala Harris. Whoa. Did we find a Democratic connection here? Is this why Spike Lee's been running around here telling everybody we need to go back to Africa? Is this what he did to pay his dues so Spike Lee could end up getting this ambassador job? It sounds like Spike Lee was on Democratic shield time. And watch him say that Black Americans were bad and Barack Obama should have whooped us. Watch this. Fair use.
Curious what you would say to people who look at this. We've heard a lot about cutting people up into groups, which on this program we've discussed the limitations of that. But on the one hand, it is white men who are skeptical of Kamala Harris. It is white and Latino men that are breaking towards Trump.
I know what the question is. Continue. Continue.
Should I continue? You can go ahead. If you got the gist of it, go ahead.
Well, it's sad but true. Some of my brothers have been drinking that Kool-Aid. And I just hope that they get their minds straight, get their minds right in time for this election. If they're conscious, if they're aware, there's nothing that this other guy can do that's going to put us, not just Black folks, but Americans in a better position going forward. So I urge, and I got to give credit to President Obama because he's been going really hard on the brothers. Some might think too hard, but I don't think so. Too hard, but I don't think so. Too hard, but I don't think so. We got to wake up, and don't go for the okie doke, the flim flam. Can't do that. We got to support our sister to become the first woman president of the United States of America, and the first sister. And then for this guy to say she's not Black. Have you ever heard of Howard University? HU, AKA. Those two get you in right away already, Howard, AKA sorority. So it's I know I'm laughing, some smiles, some jokes, but it's serious business. It's serious business. I don't want to, make light of where we are this last couple of, how many days is it to election?
15.
2 weeks and a day. As I said before, we got to move forward and not backwards.
There you go. Look at him. Look at him. Woo, I'm so happy now, boy. I got me the bags and I can be the ambassadors. See what it really is now with Spike Lee. Spike Lee thought this was going to get him a job on the Democratic plantation with Kamala. Remember, a lot of people were promised to get that bag from Kamala Harris because they thought she was going to be the president. Found out that didn't end up working, fam. So now this is what it is. There's a Democratic bag behind all of this, a complete Democratic bag. This is the last attempt to try to Africanize us. Once this is over with, it's over with forever, y'all. I'm telling y'all. This is why we're going to delineate to the maximum. This is why we're going to regulate to the fullest. This is their last play here. So this is why Spike Lee is getting this ambassador job, and they're trying to elevate him as some type of big guy. Spike Lee ain't nothing but a goofy, all right? That's all he is. He's a goofy who's now trying to get some type of African bag because he found out that foundational Black Americans ain't rocking with him. And since we rocking, we got 3.3 thousand people in here. I need everybody right now. While you in here, smash the like button. And if you have not already, and many of you already have, subscribe to the Black Alpha Network. I appreciate the love, family. We closing in on something massive. But speaking of something massive, this is what we mean by these individuals trying to play us in our face, fam. But one thing you can't do is play foundational Black Americans, especially in front of what we've already created. This is something that we've been peeling back the layers. And we've been finding out that the Democrats have been sending money and sending a lot of money quickly to a lot of these African countries. And this is why you end up seeing things like this. Ciara pops up over there, and Ciara been over there tap dancing. She's been tap dancing over there with them tethers, y'all. And I want y'all to listen to the rhetoric. They say Ciara has made history in Africa. I'm not lying. Y'all look at this.
Has made history in Africa, and we could see more people of African descent do the same. The R&B singer from Georgia in America Ciara has made history in Africa, and we could see more people of African descent do the same because of the country's new law that grants citizenship to descendants of enslaved people during the transatlantic slave trade. In the early 1500s, millions of African people were forcibly taken from their homes by traders from European nations and the USA to work as slaves across the US, Brazil, and the Caribbean. For centuries, many of the descendants who live in America have not visited what's often affectionately held as the homeland, Africa.
The homeland, Africa, says who? Says when? Says where? And again, look at how they're trying to use Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Y'all see it again for the millionth time. It's another situation where they're using Dr. Martin Luther King, a foundational Black American, to push this whole agenda. I told everybody, our pain and suffering is nothing more than a hustle for them. They don't give a damn.
But now African governments want to change this, including Ghana, Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Gambia. They've all promoted schemes to open the doors. All you need is a DNA test to prove it. That's what Ciara did. So, could this historic moment become more commonplace for many in the African and Caribbean diaspora?
Caribbean people, American singer Ciara has become one of the first, if not the first persons to be granted Benin citizenship as a descendant of those brought across the ocean by way of the transatlantic slave trade. And as Caribbean people, this is big for us because out of all the colonial possessions in the Americas, the Caribbean had the most enslaved persons brought by way of the Atlantic slave trade. So Benin blood runs deep in our region, which is a requirement for citizenship, to have DNA test, have blood, to be over 18 and not have citizenship in another African country. So this, chef's kiss for us. And for those of us...
Fam, don't fall for all that blood tests. Don't fall for none of that, family. Nope. Because what they'll end up doing, fam, is that they'll try to trace one little speck and they'll be like, see, you have it. I promise you the requirements are in the dirt, y'all. This is why they don't never really want to do that. So now they want to talk about a test. I promise you, that's going to be some of the jankiest tests ever. Because you know what that also opens up the door for? Then Mr. Brad and Chad can do the same thing. Next thing you know, you're going to start having them W's who going to be signing up saying they got a little bit. And now they're going to be opening the doors for everybody. Don't fall for that because they understand whenever we end up taking those tests, fam, you got about the same percentage as any random person walking down the block. Notice that they don't want to take no true indigenous test. They don't want to do that now. They run from the indigenous test. Yeah, the hell they do.
From former British West Indian colonies. This upcoming week, we celebrate our emancipation. And what better way to celebrate the freedom of our ancestors than by seeking out citizenship in the motherland? I love it. I love it. I love to see it.
Ciara is now a Beninese citizen. She's one of the first people to gain citizenship under the country's new My Afro Origins law. Ciara received the certificates during the ceremony in Cotonou. Passed in 2024, the law offers nationality to descendants of Africans who were enslaved and deported during the transatlantic slave trade. To apply, they must be over the age of 18, have DNA evidence, have no existing African citizenship, civil records, or family testimony. And the justice said that Benin is healing a...
Wait, did y'all catch that? Tell me y'all caught that. They can't have no previous African DNA? Well, how about other Africans that travel amongst Africa? I thought that y'all was on some everybody got to be Africa. How come other Africans don't get any access to this? They always want to come to foundational Black Americans and tell us we need to get along. I asked this question. How come this doesn't apply to your fellow African who's seeking asylum in Ghana or Nigeria or Zimbabwe? Do they not get the access here? Notice, fam, they always have these little immigration policies that they always force on FBA, but they magically leave out other Africans because they view other Africans as expendable and they see your FBA money. This lets you know it's all money oriented. Yeah, how come Senegalese people don't get access to this? How come people from South Africa don't get any type of access to this? How about with the African Union, why do y'all expel Haiti? Because you don't view Haiti as valuable because they don't have FBA money. You don't want any other African country to come over there because y'all are actively and openly having an immigration crisis in Africa. But I thought y'all was talking about Pan-Africanism. If it's Pan-Africanism, then how come other Africans don't get access to this program? How come this program is only exclusive for Black Americans? The same way the 6th region is exclusive to Black Americans, but y'all always seem to leave out other Africans. That don't sound like Pan-Africanism to me. That sounds like scamming to me, because that's exactly what it is. Listen to what she says. She says clearly, you cannot have other Africans with citizenship anywhere else. So you're denying your fellow African.
Passed in 2024, the law offers nationality to descendants of Africans who were enslaved and deported during the transatlantic slave trade. To apply, they must be over the age of 18, have DNA evidence, have no existing African citizenship.
No existing African citizenship. Translation, hell no, Mr. Fufu. Y'all talking about we xenophobic. What's more xenophobic than that? That's saying that everybody can come here except for other Africans. Y'all ain't serious about no damn unity.
Civil records or family testimony. And the justice said that Benin is healing a historical wound by legally recognizing these children of Africa. And she's not the only one. Tiffany Haddish became an Eritrean citizen through her father. And remember that Stevie Wonder gained Ghanaian citizenship on his 74th birthday. Also, both Samuel L. Jackson and Ludacris gained Gabonese citizenship. Samuel L. Jackson through DNA and Ludacris through his wife. This represents the growing efforts by African countries to reconnect with the global African diaspora. So which of your favorite celebrities would you love to see gain citizenship from an African country?
Has made history in Africa.
Y'all got to go to the celebrities because you know the average foundational Black American, we don't give a damn about none of that. Oh, notice that, family. They got to go run to the celebrities. This is what they always do. See, another reason why they're so upset right now is because the celebrity thing's not moving us. They can't say, well, let's go get the celebrities. At first, notice, fam, this was all about them trying to get just your average everyday Black American on board. They wanted to go get your average FBA on board, and we was like, hell no, we ain't with none of that. Now they're going to go get the celebrities, and that ain't really moving nobody. I haven't heard anybody say, well, yeah, I'm going to go over there because Ciara is. I haven't heard anybody say, hey, I'm going to go over there, because Ludacris is. Nobody's saying I'm going to move to Africa because of Ludacris, all right? Nobody's saying I'm going to go to Africa because of Tiffany Haddish or Ciara. Nobody's saying that, fam. And they over there right now trying to play them people up, trying to spin it around. But when you look at some of these places, notice you keep hearing what? Benin, Nigeria. Benin, Nigeria. Notice that, right? You keep hearing that over and over and over. Family, look at some of the research that we've ended up doing. And let me tell y'all that we drew a direct line with the Democratic bag. Yeah, this is all the Democratic bag. Fam, you're seeing the same thing for the year of the return. And the reason why, this is the year of the return without calling it the year of the return because we ruined the term year of return. That term, the year of the return, we made that dirt in these streets. So all they did, fam, was just dust it off, remodeled it, and try to give it back to us. Because, that's what scammers do. They just try to spin it back. This ain't nothing but the year of the return, fam. They want to call it the year of the return, but they understand FBA's not falling for that. We ruined the year of the return. We ruined all their hustle. We ruined their con games. So now they're trying to call it something different. Y'all look at this right here, though. It shows you that apparently that Benin has been getting a lot of money from the United States of America. Another episode. Y'all look at this right here. Does it look like they've been getting the bag from America? Do y'all see the American hands at play here now, y'all? Do y'all see where all this is coming from? How come you keep seeing Benin all over again? The The United States committed approximately $87.6 million in foreign aid to Benin, with $87.8 million allocated to the economic non-military purposes and the remaining 12.2 for security assistance. Agencies included State Department, the Millennium Challenge Corporation, USAID, Peace Corps, and others. Family, there go the people right there who's paying for it. There go the people right there who just paid for Spike Lee. There you go. Hey, receipts on the table. Another one, checkmate, Black Alpha certified, Black Society. We win again. We win again, y'all. Did we just win again, family? Are these people trying to duck and dodge us but understand they can't get around us? Did we just show everybody where the bag came from? This right here is the sponsor for this whole year, the return to Benin, Nigeria. This right here is who paid for the plane ticket for Ciara. This right here is who paid for the plane ticket for Spike Lee. You see it. The Democratic bag is written all over this. You see it like I see it. We all see it. Right there, clear as day. But family, if that ain't a receipt, we got another receipt that we want to put on the table for everybody. So y'all enjoy that right there. Screenshot it, do whatever you want to do. But right there goes the sponsor. There's the sponsor. And do y'all know what else we found as we were doing this research, y'all? We found a whole nother situation. And Benin, Nigeria came up again. Do y'all know who else is from Benin, Nigeria, that's been interfering in foundational Black American policies? I'll tell you who it is. It's this lady right here. Y'all remember Miss Queen Atua? Do y'all remember the chair of the African Union 6th region? Huh? Tell me y'all remember this lady right here. Yeah, well, guess where the hell she from, family? Miss Queen Atua is from Benin, Nigeria. So we got her. We got Ciara. You got Spike Lee. And they all are getting the same exact bag from the United States of America, in particular, the Democratic establishment. You do it, we'll see it. We see it, we'll receipt it. And then we'll put it on the table for 3,000 plus certified foundational Black Americans to roast you. You can't run and you can't hide from certified, because when you certified all the time. There go the receipts, family. There go the checks. They signing it right across the board. So the same exact woman who ended up getting all of those deals made is the same exact woman who's getting all of the scamming done. Here you go. H.E. Dr. Queen Blessings Atua is an Edo state-born Nigerian African-American queen. She earned her chemistry degree from the University of Benin, Nigeria. Damn. Y'all think it's a coincidence that you keep on seeing Benin, Nigeria pop up every time you turn around? That's the hub. That's the post. That's where these individuals are using their own game so they can try to fool us. And it just isn't working. I mean, when you talk about not working, I don't know how much more not working can you not work. Y'all gonna have to go get us somebody else. Y'all gonna have to try somebody else, because this ain't doing it. It ain't cutting. These people really think they're gonna fool foundational Black Americans with these off-branded people. They think they're going to fool foundational Black Americans with these want-to-bes. Like, we can't just pull up your homeland. See, this is the homeland checking era. We're checking everybody's paperwork, and we're checking your homeland, and your homeland's not adding up. And since it's not adding up, you're not adding up. And if you're not adding up, then you got to go. See, we understand that paperwork is essential. You got to check paperwork. See, if you're not checking paperwork, then you don't know who's going to come around, and you don't know the type of hustle that they're going to try to use. Now what they're doing, family, they're trying to send out some of these fake pseudo people, right? Some of these fake people try to intellectualize things, but we're on them as well. That go back to Africa stuff ain't going to work because we never been there. The we don't give a damn about your scam African hustle is at an all-time high. Y'all think that we was delineating a year ago. Y'all think that we was delineating 2 years ago. You ain't seen nothing like this. Wait till they get a load of me. This is where we're at with it. Regulations at an all-time high. We ain't even budging at this point. We ain't getting all in our feelings, emotion. We just saying, what? Go back to Africa. Get the hell out of here. Huh? What? Go back to Benin, Nigeria? Hell no. What? Get citizenship? What? Year of the return? Get the hell out of my way. I'm going to the store. FBA, we got bigger fish to fry. And we understand that these people are just going to send out anything that they can possibly do. Y'all don't like us being American, but you're going to have to deal with us being American because we're the only Americans. We run things. Look at this now, fam. Now they're sending out a lot of these people, and they're attacking the term foundational. And the reason why they're trying to do that, y'all, for a multitude of different reasons, is because all of those other phrases really aren't moving the crowd. And they need to try to tear down FBA by these fake historical events. Watch what I'm talking about right here.
Nothing called Foundational Black America, or FBA. The transatlantic slave trade lasted over 400 years. It's a dark chapter in history that shaped our world. From the 15th to the 19th century, millions of Africans were forcibly taken across the Atlantic. They endured horrific conditions on ships, with many not surviving the journey. Those who did faced a life of brutal enslavement. This trade didn't just impact Africa and the Americas. It fueled economic growth in Europe, creating wealth built on human suffering. The effects are still felt today, influencing global inequalities and societal structures. It's crucial we understand this history to address its lasting impact and work towards a more just future. The notion Black Americans are not African is absurd. Drop your thoughts. Nothing called Foundational Black America, or FBA. The transatlantic slave trade lasted over 400 years. It's a dark chapter in history that shaped our world. From the 15th to the 19th century, millions of Africans were forcibly taken across the Atlantic. They endured horrific conditions on ships, with many not surviving the journey. Those who did faced a life of brutal enslavement. This trade didn't just impact Africa and the Americas. It fueled economic growth in Europe, creating wealth built on human suffering. The effects are still felt today, influencing global inequalities and societal structures. It's crucial we understand this history to address its lasting impact and work towards a more just future. The notion Black Americans are not African is absurd. Drop your thoughts. Nothing called Foundational.
No, the notion that you got a fake off-brand British accent you trying to tell me about my hood is another thing. Now they're trying to send out these fake pseudo people who try to act like they got it all intellectualized, but they just can't go against our receipts, okay? The main thing that they've been doing, and we've been talking about this, fam, you're starting to see this weird tether alliance. Y'all notice that every single group that is facing deportation are trying to team up against FBA. If you got ICE coming down your street in a white van, you probably mad at FBA, all right? If your grandma got snatched out of her car last night, you probably mad at FBA. If you made a TikTok video for 3 hours complaining about foundational Black Americans, it's only because you understand time is up tether. And Black American August is in full damn swing, in full effect. Now you got these people coming out, fam, and they just saying anything from everywhere, and nothing is making any sense. You can see now that our message, in which we had been told growing up, is going to the forefront, so everybody's got to see it. You understand? This is what I mean by what we grew up on. Now you got another guy who's looking everywhere but at the camera. He says diaspora wars, when the conquered go to war. Listen, this is what we mean by these people babbling, but they always are trying to come after foundationals. It ain't working. Watch this.
So now it's diaspora wars. And y'all are going to boycott African businesses, hair braiding. And if you're boycotting everything African, are you going to boycott the Shade Room too? Because you know who runs that, right? And I would argue Shade Room is very detrimental. Like what kind of content does the Shade Room give Black Americans, right? Celebrity gossip and beef. And so if you're going to boycott everything African, start with the Shade Room, right? Yo, I'm not a tether. I am a welfare baby. American.
Nah, fam. Anytime they got, I'm not a tether. Well, what's a tether now? What you mean a tether? If he said he ain't a tether, he's a tether. That man said, y'all notice there's a lot of videos now where these people are coming out saying, I'm not a tether. I'm never been a tether. What could a tether possibly be? I couldn't be a tether if I tried. Yeah, that's tether talk. That man's a tether, everybody. He just admitted it to you without wanting to admit it to you. That's a tether, okay? And notice that he comes out making it look like he's upset with the diaspora, and he immediately gets into foundational Black Americans. This is what it's about.
Drug baby, everything, all the ills that have gone on in America, my family has been a victim of it, right? We from this motherfucker. And I have to be honest, Black Americans are followers. Because we have struggled with identity, are we Israelites? Or we're indigenous to America? We had dashikis, right? Because
identity is a big thing to us. We travel in groups, so we have no individuality. So whatever movement is going on, we jump on it. We don't think for ourselves. I must say that, right? That's why it's always gang, right? Because we hide in groups, and most Black Americans have never experienced self-actualization. Niggas don't.
And you haven't experienced a woman. Okay, so I don't want to hear anybody trying to tell FBA what we ain't experienced if he's never experienced a woman at all. And I'm not talking about the woman that you climb in the tree across the street and stare into her house. Okay, that peeping Tom stuff don't go around here. He's a peeping tether. Okay, I don't want to hear nothing from a peeping tether. All right, so just be quiet and don't speak on our lineage. That guy's a non-foundational. So I showed you the first guy, and he's talking about this. The fuck that FBA is absurd. That guy is probably somewhere in England getting whooped on by a British man and then having 10 crumpets afterwards and bowing down to him. And this guy right here is clearly a tether in America. These people are pretending to be FBA because they can't see FBA. And we're on and we watching everything. Remember, y'all, there's nothing that they could possibly do that's going to remove the fact that we are in full swing. And to say FBA are followers when truly you can watch the whole damn planet Earth follow us in the meantime, in between time, then you already know what it is. See, I don't mind you being wrong. I'm just tired of y'all folks being absolutely delusional. That's the thing. And when we say that these people are delusional, you got to watch out because they've been trying to use all of these tactics to try to get us to go to Africa, like we said, fam, so they can do what? They can steal our reparations claim. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to steal our reparations claim because they want foundational Black Americans to fall for whatever game that they're on. Notice this right here. And I want y'all to see this right here. Check this out as we proceed. Let me show y'all this. First off, check this out. And then now let me show you this in between time and in the meantime. Can y'all see what I'm talking about right here? When I say that these people are out here trying to run a con game on us, and I say that these people are out here trying to fool us, I mean that these people are genuinely trying to fool us. Watch this and tell me if I'm not lying about these people taking our reparations. Watch this right here.
Justice for Africans and people of African descent through reparations. Let me note that when we speak of reparations, in addition to the acknowledgement and sorrow for past wrongs, we recognize that repair and compensation must be made for wrongs suffered through the transatlantic slave trade, the indigenous genocide, and the colonialism that we endured. And also, my friends, for the denial of fair access to resources for development, which has continued to bedevil us to the present. I remind us—
Freeze. Family, was the chat frozen? Somebody tell me, was the chat frozen? I promise you the chat was just frozen a minute ago. If y'all seen the chat was frozen, let me know. Because I'm sitting there looking at the chat. I'm like, oh, no. Okay. Yeah, all right. So funny time. All right. Yeah, I see. Yep. Okay, checkmate. We understand what it is, fam. Yeah, they done froze the chat. Boy, if you don't step your game up, all right? Okay, let me tell you something. You can try to make the chat freeze, but we don't flee. So keep on trying. We back. Look at this right here. And the numbers are jumping all over the damn place. Boy, they did this a couple days ago. And it ain't even lightning outside. What they say, get your ass up. It ain't even wet over here. Okay, but let me tell you something. This is some certifieds over here. Okay, I see the chat moving again, and we back at it to win. Here we go. Watch this lady start talking about our reparations, fam, but she don't talk about us. Watch this, and this is exactly what I mean. And before we proceed to give you what you need, fair use is about teaching, scholarship, research, and commentary. Fair use, fair effing use. Watch this.
Justice for Africans and people of African descent through reparations. Let me note that when we speak of reparations, in addition to the acknowledgement and sorrow for past wrongs, we recognize that repair and compensation must be made for wrongs suffered through the transatlantic slave trade, the indigenous genocide, and the colonialism that we endured. And also, my friends, for the denial of fair access to resources for development, which has continued to bedevil us to the present. I remind us that the African continent and the Caribbean community started the journey of independence with a deficit of resources, a deficit of fairness and opportunity. As we seek to right that wrong through reparatory justice, the next generation must commit to meet the second part of the challenge, which is to lead us, the sons and daughters of Africa, into a transformation of our personhood through self-repair. It cannot be disputed that 2025 presents a key moment in the global discourse on justice and reparations.
She didn't even say Black America. Fam, she just completely left us out. Watch this again. She didn't. She specifically left us out. Watch this. This is the Prime Minister of the Barbados.
And also, my friends, for the denial of fair access to resources for development, which has continued to bedevil us to the present. I remind us that the African continent and the Caribbean community
The African continent and the Caribbean community. No talk about FBA. And nobody will be talking about reparations if it wasn't for FBA. How do you know? It's because why is reparations such a big deal to the planet Earth? It's because of foundational Black Americans. I'm one of the people who spoke at the largest reparations rally in American history. And you ain't seen none of this. She just straight up said Africa and the Caribbean. And that just so happens to be the same people who are always disrespecting us together whenever they're making their TikTok videos.
Present. I remind us that the African continent and the Caribbean community started the journey of independence with a deficit of resources, a deficit of fairness and opportunity. As we seek to right that wrong through reparatory justice, the next generation must commit to meet the second part of the challenge, which is to lead us, the sons and daughters of Africa, into a transformation of our personhood.
The next generation. See, fam, they thinking down the road. They want the reparations from your baby. They want the reparations from your child. We're over here talking about standing on business for the next generation. Y'all see how they skipping over our next generation? Fam, ain't nobody gonna love you like you. Ain't nobody gonna ride for you like yourself. Ain't nobody gonna have your back like your foundational Black American brother. Ain't nobody gonna have your back like your foundational Black American sister. I want y'all to see that. She said the Caribbean and Africa, the next generation, they fighting for reparations for their babies, and they skipping over our babies while they want the reparations to come from our pockets. Can y'all believe this?
Through self-repair. It cannot be disputed that 2025 presents a key moment in the global discourse on justice and reparations.
There you go. There you go, family. They want our reparations so they can give it to their kids. So I want you to think about Benin, Nigeria, and how you have that Atua fraud lady. You got Spike Lee, you got Ludacris, you got Ciara, you got this lady from the Caribbean talking about the Caribbean and African alliance, which we've always been talking about. The Caribbeans and all the Africans, they will be on the same team real quick whenever it comes to going against FBA. It's Tether Voltron. Tether Voltron will form up real fast whenever it comes to trying to get the bag from us. This is what they're doing. They just skip us over. See, what they want to do with reparations, they want foundational Black Americans to take the football on the 1 yard line and push it all the way to the goal line, and then they take it and they score the touchdown and get all the joy. They want foundational Black Americans to score all the points in the game, and then they can hit a little free throw, a little layup, and they can get all the glory. AKA, they want you to do all the hard work, all the heavy lifting, and then they can show up after that's done, and then they can take the bag in the process. They want us to go out there and do the rallies and go speak at all these different protests. They want us to talk about foundational Black Americans at these hearings. As soon as we get the bag, boom. International reparations is designed to absorb our indigenous, native, immediate reparations. This is why they're so hell-bent on keeping reparations away from our lineage, because they want to globalize it. This is the game plan, fam, and I've been saying it. They want to take lineage-based reparations and erase it for global-based reparations. They want America to pay global reparations to Africa and let Africa distribute it amongst the 6th region, amongst the diaspora, and FBA will end up with nothing. That's what they want to do. Y'all think we gonna get $1 if Africa ends up getting the reparations bag? And I've been saying this for the last 5 years. The dominant society, in particular the Democrats, they wanted to just get reparations to go away. We wouldn't let it go away. They wanted reparations to fall to the back. We made it go to the front. So now their next thing, they pivot. They say, how can we give reparations without giving reparations? Now they want to create the illusion of reparations. That's what they want to do now. See, before it was, oh, Black Americans will sit down. Black Americans will get quiet. Black Americans will go home. See, Black Lives Matter would be out here twerking for justice, and then they would go home, get tired, and it'll go away. Y'all remember back in the day when something bad had happened in injustice, Black folks would march for about 2 days, get tired, and go home? That's what they wanted the reparations generation to do. They didn't think that we would actually have a generational impact where this generation will be defined by lineage and reparations. They didn't think it would be that big. They thought this reparations movement was nothing more than just Black folks at a George Floyd protest. They thought this was Black folks at a Trayvon Martin protest. They thought that we would bow down the same way a lot of Black folks from BLM bow down after those protests. Pay off a couple tethers, pay off a bunch of shields, and then get everything to dilute and go away. We didn't go that way. We only got stronger. And this is when they got scared. So now they're saying, okay, we can't get reparations to go away. We can't get it to disappear. They're picking up the phone. They calling Benin, Nigeria. And then they're saying, oh, Dr. Queen Atua. You know, the Dr. Queen Atua that is over here in America, and she's writing laws in Atlanta for African immigrants. And you know that African Union that's financed by the United States of America. Call Spike Lee on the phone, get Ciara, get a bunch of washed up rappers, and now let's get foundational Black Americans to globalize their lineage-based reparations. And once it becomes globalized, then they can absorb our lineage. If it ever becomes globalized, family, there will be no lineage-based reparations. And remember this, in America, you can't race-base reparations, all right? Let's make this clear. Since they can't race-base it, now they try to globalize it. See, race-based was basically a domestic way of globalizing it. If they made it race-based, then the African can get it, then the Jamaican can get it, then the Haitian can get it. But we said, no, damn all of that race-based. It's got to be lineage specific. And we were the ones sitting on those councils saying, hell no. This is going to be specifically for the lineage. And then they said, okay, damn, FBA got us again. Damn, they ain't falling for the trick. Damn, these FBAs too strong. All right, y'all got it. It's not going to be race-based. But I'll tell you what we can do. We can globalize it. So America wants to cut a big check, call it reparations, and give it to the African Union. This is why they're trying to Africanize us, so they can make it look like, look, FBA, we paid reparations, not for domestic abuse, not for domestic slavery. We paid it for all the slavery, not for your specific lineage, your specific heritage. We paid it for all the diaspora. And what it is that we gave it to y'all, and y'all Africans, right? Y'all African Americans. See, the term African American, that allows them to globalize your reparations. Minority allows them to globalize your reparations. This is why we denounce and delete, erase those terms. Everything we do is lineage-based. I mean, damn, fam, if you eating Captain Crunch, I'm eating some lineage-based Captain Crunch with the damn crunch berries, all right? It don't matter what you do. The way you walk, the way you talk, the way you speak, the way you deal with each other, we stay lineage-specific, and lineage is like a force field they can't penetrate. You can't globalize my reparations if I'm lineage-based. You cannot globalize my finances, my resources, if it's lineage-based. Lineage is a powerful term, and if you notice, fam, everybody's even using the term lineage. I remember hearing the term lineage about 5 times growing up. Now I hear it every 5 minutes because everybody's mimicking what we do. You cannot and you will not globalize our reparations. That's the next step. And the only way to counter that is by being FBA and representing the country. The more we put America on the table, the more we denounce the global. The more we put America on the table, the more we denounce the diaspora. We're creating that separation, and it's powerful. And it's so powerful right now that brothers and sisters, and I mean this, are calling these people out every goddamn day, every second. And I'm loving it, family. I'm loving it. Why do I love it so much, fam? It's because it's taking everything that they thought they had and spinning it back on them. It's spinning it back on them, and these people are done for. I'm loving the energy in which we have, and I'm going to tell you why that energy is so powerful. The energy is powerful because when FBA stands on one page, when FBA stands on one accord, when foundational Black Americans tell the whole damn world it's going to be our way or no way, man, I tell you, it's good to be the best ever. And right now, we the best ever because of that. Y'all look at this right here. This is going to prove exactly what I'm talking about when I say that reparations is a powerful thing, and reparations is changing everything that these people think that they got in their pocket, and it's changing everything that they think they got up their sleeves. Look at this right here. No longer will they play in our faces, and no longer will they try to trick us. We are in the building, y'all, and it's a beautiful building to be in. But let me tell you about this damn building. This building is only made for foundationals. Let me show y'all, pull this up. There they go. Here we go. All right. Let me pull this up for the family. This lets you know whatever they're trying to pull just ain't going to work. And when we say things ain't going to work, fam, there's no way around it. Let me pull that back. Here we go. Check this out. FBA all damn day, certified all the damn time. This is where we're at, and they got to deal with it. Hold on. Let me pull this up, fam. We ain't going to have no stuff. I don't want the chat freezing. I don't want no nonsense up in here. This is too damn powerful for the world. Y'all got to see this. Check this out. Shout out to this sister right here because she be really holding it down and she be letting people know who's really talking that talk. Okay, no freezing. There we go. Check this out, y'all. Here we go. This is the difference between then and now. This is the difference between us and everybody else. Checkmate.
His author-producer wife, Tonya Lewis-Lee. The couple is expected to serve as thematic ambassadors. They are tasked with bringing people of African descent closer to their roots. In fact, the duo is also expected to raise awareness among people of African origin.
We don't care. It's not going to change anything. Let their asses go over there. Their career been washed up anyway. We ain't seen a good movie from Spike Lee and I don't know how long. How long? You're just popular because she do little TikTok dances and because of her husband. We already utilize their services in America. So if they want to go over there, go right ahead. We don't care. This is what I'm talking about. Like, I swear, you cannot tell me that the Democrats are not behind majority of this bullshit. I'm willing to bet that they poked them, they tapped them on the shoulder, was like, hey, listen, there's a lot of talk going on right now with people in your community. They are literally trying to separate themselves from Africa. So what we need for you to do, we need for y'all to come over here and get y'all citizenship. We're going to pay y'all handsomely. And then maybe they'll be like, oh, look, Ciara and Spike Lee, they identify with being African. They going to go ahead. They did they 21andMe. Or they 23andMe, they did they ancestry.com. So if y'all do it, they gonna go ahead and just throw away this whole talk about being, American, being only Black American and being indigenous to America. Like, no, let's get rid of that. Like, let's stop that talk because they gonna mess up our bag. They gonna mess.
Fam, y'all notice how this sister's putting it together? Now this sister ain't seen the receipts that Black Alpha put on the table. You dig? She ain't seen the receipts that we done pulled out showing you that they getting that bag. But y'all notice that she sees the same thing that we seeing at the same exact time? Yes, the hell you do. Look at that. She knows exactly what it is. Democrats, it ain't working. Tethers, it ain't working. At this point, the Democrats and the tethers, I call them tethercrats, y'all are an embarrassment. Nothing you're doing is working. You're melting down and crashing out. You got the tactics of a 2-year-old, and FBA is exposing y'all, running you out the damn paint.
Gonna mess up our game. We trying to replace them. Don't you see that? We need y'all help so we can continue to replace them with foreigners. We trying to brown out America. We trying to brown them out. Y'all be getting washed up. Listen, I tried it. Look, hey, they rich. They can do whatever they want to do. They can do everything they want to do, but what they should be doing. Why y'all ain't use that money and that time and that effort to try to rebuild something in y'all communities, in y'all cities? Like, Lee, you from New York. Why you allowing the gentrification of your neighborhood? Why you allowing Eric Adams and Holcomb to do all the bullshit that they doing out there in New York? Ciara, you from Atlanta. Why you ain't working on rebuilding some of the things that goes on down there? Like, y'all full of shit. This is why I say stop following these celebrities. Y'all only worthy for us to talk about and laugh at. That's it. That's it.
Didn't I just say all they are doing is getting laughed at? That sister said exactly what we've been saying. Y'all ain't got nothing that's working for y'all. Every single thing that y'all doing right now is detrimental to your hustle, to your con game. It ain't messing with foundationals. Foundationals, Black Americans are out here stronger than ever. And I'm telling everybody, we stronger than ever. So the fact that we can put those receipts on the table and we understand the attempted erasure. The erasure ain't work, fam. They ain't even got no damn eraser no more. It's just a wrap, okay? Foundational Black Americans are extra strong. And we've been seeing it from a long way. And by the way, Ciara's not from Atlanta. Let's make that clear, all right? And neither is Ludacris. So they're not going to come and speak on behalf of foundational Black Americans because, quite frankly, we're FBA and we say so. This is the FBA and we say so era. And this era is more pivotal than anything that they could possibly come up with because we've been out here standing on certified principle, and our principle got everybody checking out fast. But family, there's a lot more things that have been coming out, and I got $1 million question. When I say $1 million, I'm talking about $1 million question for the family. So they want our reparations, right? We understand that. We know that these individuals are trying to steal from us. We understand that. We know that these individuals want to take what foundational Black Americans created, but they keep on fumbling the bag, right? Well, Y'all tell me this. Is this right here not a foundational Black American creation? Somebody told me one time, he said, call ICE and call them twice. And it ain't nothing nice. Family, look at your screen right now. Foundational Black Americans have made the block so damn hot for all of these migrants, these tethers, these fleers, these hoppers, these skippers, these jumpers, that now, family, ICE is out there openly recruiting people. Yes, the hell they are. ICE is telling people that if you sign up, then you will get some money. Look at this right here. You want $50,000? You want $60,000. You tell me what you want, and we can make it happen. See, they didn't think the FBA would make the block so hot. But now you're starting to see a bunch of Black Americans, and those Black Americans are signing up to be ICE agents. Fam, we was right here a couple months ago talking about it, and people thought we was joking. We was right here a couple months ago when we was speaking about it. People thought we was playing. We're not playing out here in these streets. Let me show y'all some of the incentives that you will receive if you choose to go ahead and sign up. First off, you see that right there? Man, that is so beautiful and so lovely. I mean, damn. And I'm going to say this again. FBA did that, y'all. FBA did that. How do you know FBA did that? It's because nobody was speaking about this until foundational Black Americans said, wait a minute now. Maybe we could just go ahead and take this and run with it. And now everybody's running with it. That is a foundational Black American family. This is on their website. This is on their website. Their website is openly telling everybody. They got Uncle Sam sitting there saying he wants some good ICE agents. I know 60 million foundational Black Americans who would do a phenomenal job with all the benefits. You give the benefits to the migrants, right? Well, how about some of them benefits go to the Americans? It's good when you stand on Lineage business. And fam, they out there openly saying it. Watch this.
New ICE agents. This is a massive campaign to recruit more than 10,000 new agents this year. 10,000, that number if achieved would make ICE the single largest law enforcement agency in the nation. Trisha, tell us how that's going and what kind of response are you getting for this recruitment effort?
We are getting an overwhelming response. Already have 1,000 final offers out as of now, Cheryl, but we know we're going to turbocharge that in the coming weeks and get even more ICE enforcement officers on the ground. There's really strength in numbers. And these men and women are doing the Lord's work. They are getting the worst of the worst off of America's streets, and America can be so proud of them. If you are interested in joining ICE and being on the front lines, go to join.ice.gov.
Oh, wait a minute, Karen, number 57. What's that site again?
Doing the Lord's work. They are getting the worst of the worst off of America's streets, and America can be so proud of them. If you are interested in joining ICE and being on the front lines, go to join.ice.gov.
I'm sorry, Karen, number 59. What's that site again?
Streets, and America can be so proud of them. If you are interested in joining ICE and being on the front lines, go to join.ice.gov.
Is offering now these.
Thank you very much, Karen, number 67. That's what I like to hear. I be damn. That's what's going on. And who, again, were the first people to bring this up? Who were the ones saying call ICE and call them twice? Who are the ones running around here saying, hey, if ICE started paying, I'm calling? And fam, the incentives look damn good. Let me show y'all what some of these incentives look like. Y'all see this right here? And this is all official. This is coming from that website the lady just referred to. To support this effort, ICE is offering a robust package. You know, anytime W start talking about robust, they really trying to get somebody. Package of federal law enforcement incentives, including a maximum of a $50,000 sign-in bonus. Fam, they giving out sign-in bonuses like your ass just joined a football team. Damn, like you just were drafted to the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm just saying, you giving out incentives like sign-in bonuses. All right, student loan repayment and forgiveness options. 25% law enforcement availability pay for HSI special agents. Administratively uncontrolled overtime for enforcement removal operations, deportation officers, enhanced retirement benefits. Fam, they're not giving that out at regular places. Y'all better pick up that damn phone. If you qualify, at least throw a damn line in the water, fam, and see what it's hitting for. And get you this job so we can get these people up out of here and we can let the whole damn world know that foundational Black Americans, we are ready to report for duty. Yes, the hell we are. We are ready to report for duty so we can send these people home about our country, because when they come on over here with all that jealousy, that spite, that envy, and that vitriol, they didn't know that all we got to do was pick up the phone. And now they're out there telling us to pick up the phone, and we got a gang of things that we can get. So this right here is the delivery service. Now there's a delivery mechanism. And they thought it was just going to be foundational Black Americans doing what they do. See, they're on TikTok all day talking about FBA. I guess they thought that we was just going to be on TikTok too, right? They thought we was just going to be on TikTok like they're always on TikTok. They didn't know that, oh, FBA, we don't just on TikTok all damn day. No. See, we could be ICE agents, fam. Black Americans being ICE agents is the Democrats and the Tethercrats' worst nightmare. You go ahead and give me 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 foundational Black American ICE agents. And I'm going to tell you right now, immigration is going to be the best it's ever been. There's going to be about one person showing up, and there's going to be 1 billion people getting sent home. You think that Roland Martin ever wanted this to happen? No, because he's a tether. Kamala didn't. She's a tether. Barack Obama, he's a tether. You think Jorge, Julio, Romero, Mutombo, Lumbumbo, you think any of them wanted this to happen? They never thought that this would go down this way. But it is. And there's something else that's happening right here on top of that. So, fam, you're talking about the tether terrorists. You got foundational Black Americans signing up for ICE. And notice that lady said Americans. She didn't say just W Americans. They're open to all of this because Donald Trump is out there saying if Black Americans get on board with ICE, Republicans are going to win the midterms and they're going to win the next election. And you know, money talks and BS walks. And let me tell you what else walks. These people are walking straight down to the immigration office and they trying to find a way out because them tether protection services, they got it extended for a week. Now, on top of Black Americans getting those benefits for being ICE agents, 500,000 Haitians will lose TPS status on September 2nd, 2025. It's over, y'all.
Haiti is coming to an end on September 2nd. Your work permit is also ending on September 2nd. Here's what you should be thinking about as your lawful status is coming to an end. Number one, it will be ending. Yes, I know that there's litigation going on, and from time to time, I might even mention it. But the reality is, guys, at this point, the Trump administration has already made their case regarding TPS for Haiti, and it is coming to an end. So you've got to prepare for it. Number two, if you do not already have a removal order, there's a very strong possibility that they will issue a notice to appear in immigration court. But not to worry, because for some of you, you will receive a far out date, 2028, 2029, or maybe even 2030, because that's where the immigration courts are at this time. For the first hearing, the second and final hearing will be scheduled for a date much further away. So there's plenty of time to strategize with an attorney about what you can do about your case. Number three, if you already have a removal order issued against you, and some of you do because we've worked with you in the past, speak with an immigration attorney to find out whether there's a way for you to reopen that case. Get on it right away, guys. Do not hesitate. You might have a reason. Unfortunately, TPS for Haiti is coming to an end on September 2nd. Your work permit is also ending on September 2nd. Here's what you should be thinking about as your lawful status is.
Here's what you should be thinking about. You messed up. You came to somebody else's homeland. You disrespected them. You should have been friendly. And now you going home. That's what you need to be thinking about. And fam, home is waiting on them because I told y'all back home, a lot of them tether gangsters in your homeland is waiting on you. This is why dudes say, I ain't going back to Haiti. You only talking like that if you spooked. You afraid to go back to Haiti because it doesn't look too good. But in a lot of these people's homelands,
Number
show
one,
y'all, there's some real serious turmoil going on. Have y'all been watching some of the issues going on in the diaspora in terms of diaspora on diaspora war, tether on tether crime? Family, y'all look at this video right here. Watch this guy. This man is telling everybody, don't trust these Africans. Watch, fam. Don't let these tethers get it twisted. They don't like each other. Don't let these tethers get it twisted. They despise each other. Don't let these tethers get it twisted. They only mad at FBA because when foundational Black Americans is living our best life, they going to be throwing all types of jollof, curry chicken at each other. There's some tether problems going on. Watch this.
Trust no African. At this point, I do not know who need to hear. Do not trust no African. At this point, I do not know who need to hear this, but African nationals, do not trust them. I always giving African nationals the benefit of the doubt, and they always proving me wrong in one way, shape, or form. Why African nationals are here talking about they're glad their ancestors sold slaves? They're glad their ancestors sold them by the ship. They're so proud that the ancestors sold the useless ones. What the fuck you on the internet talking about? If you argue with FBA, talk about FBA bullshit. Why you telling people that? And I you want to see how much likes these pussy will get. You want to see how much likes they get. And I'm sure it's other African liking those bullshit, because there's no one from the Caribbean or the South America or the North America in their right mind, or Europe, that are in the Arabs who will get sold in their right mind to like those videos. So I know.
Wait a minute, you mean to tell me that all that African and Caribbean connection, oh, that's just to go against FBA because y'all don't really get along with each other. Y'all don't really rock with each other. This man said he don't trust no African. Look at it. Don't trust these Africans. Here's why. And then he giving you all this reason. Look at he mad. You mad. That man mad as hell. He mad as hell. These people don't get along. These people don't like each other. These people got so much vitriol for one another, family. You can't make it up. So how come they talking about FBA being xenophobic? Looks like they xenophobic amongst themselves. We're right now about to expose the immigration crisis that's sweeping across the whole continent of Africa. Yes, everybody. Africa right now has the biggest immigration crisis in the whole world. And I'm not talking about African immigrants coming to America or going to Europe. I'm talking about within the borders of Africa. They are having the biggest migrant crisis that they've ever seen. And people are getting unalived about it. So no, Ciara can go on over there. Ludacris can go on over there. But we, FBA, we staying the hell away from there because we don't give a damn.
All those thousands of likes, I know it's African liking it. African. I'm not saying you won't have exception, but right now, I'm not saying, I'm saying do not trust no African at all. They're willing to sell you out for a buck. They're willing to sell you out for $1. Not saying no.
Don't trust no African. They willing to sell you for $1. You heard what he said. He said, don't trust them. They willing to sell you. Damn. Sound like these people saying the same thing that they get mad at FBA for saying. This is Jamaican. This is Jamaican, man. Fam, this is a Jamaican telling you about Africans. They can't put that jacket on FBA. They can't put that jacket on us. This man is not a foundational Black American. This man is not from the United States. Y'all want to know where he's from? This man is from Jamaica, right near the beach. Boy, he ain't one of us. Hell no.
Other one would don't sell you out, but trust me, someone on here glorifying what their ancestor did by selling slaves.
Damn.
Selling someone to another race to control their own flesh and blood.
Damn.
Are you coming here in this modern time, knowing all the history, telling me you glad your ancestor do that?
Damn.
Yo, go suck on the mother. You are not different from FBA. You are the same thing as you are worse than FBA. You are 100.
Whoa! He said you are worse than FBA. I told you, these tethers, this man don't like FBA, but he's saying he don't like the Africans more. So it shows you again, tether on tether crime, and FBA over here just popping popcorn, flipping pancakes, and watching. That man said, don't talk about FBA, because what you do is worse. There ain't no diaspora unity, y'all. No, this man calling out Africa more than anybody.
From FBA, you are the same thing as you are worse than FBA. You are 100 times worse than FBA. Shame on you. Shame on you for overreaching. Why are you talking about FBA and you overreaching like that? You're talking everybody else who were involved in the slave trade, which is over several dozen countries.
Damn. That's what they want foundational Black Americans to get involved with? This is what they want FBA to drop everything in our homeland, fam. We doing too damn good. Y'all notice this, fam? They always want to tell us how bad we're doing. And they always tell us that because they want us to leave what we got going so great. All right? They know we doing too damn good. They know we doing too good, so now they saying, well, y'all need to just leave all the goodness y'all got. No, ain't gonna be no leaving. Ain't gonna be no leaving. We good right here. See, we're doing so damn well is why they want us to leave. That's what it's about. And this man, apparently, he's saying that he got a quarrel, and a quirk with them. And everything that he's saying about Africa is the same exact thing. They don't ever want to show you that side. They don't want to show you the side of Africa and Jamaica and the Caribbean that ain't rocking with each other. See, if they ever had to show you that, then that means people would be exposed, and they don't want them folks to be exposed. But more and more, you're seeing Africans coming out and
My
other Africans.
I'm shipping off your textbooks.
Be quiet. They're showing a bunch of other Africans, and these people are going after each other. Why are these people going after each other, family? It's because they understand that they're never going to make it to America. They're never going to get here to the United States.
Did you know that
so
ancient
the best thing
Babylon?
for them to do is just
Black
throw the other
Americans are
African
ready
under
to-
the bus, start turning on each other, go back and forth with each other, and make it clear that foundational Black Americans, we hold down foundational Black America, and you can't hold down your own village. When you can't hold down your own village, you start doing a bunch of tribal stuff. Now that tribalism that we've been exposing, now that tribalism is starting to come to the forefront. Y'all look at this right here as we talk about it. This is what's going on over there in Africa, y'all. Let me show y'all what's going on over in Africa. Can we talk about the crisis that they got over there? Watch this right here. This is in Africa right now as we talk. They're denying people any access to hospitals or any access to healthcare.
It belongs to South Africans. Ibile privileges ama South Africans lingamahal. All the services, so clinic it belongs to South Africans. Ibile privileges ama South Africans lingamahal. All the services, all the nurses, all the resources belong to South Africans. If you know yourself, like you are not South African, please get out of the line, move out of the line. Section 17 of 2002, Law Act 13, yeah, Immigrants Act, yeah, South Africa, all foreigners should seek medical help from private clinics and private hospitals. Whoever has a problem can go and consult with the police or consult with the Home Affairs there at NAFCO.
This man is telling all of them that services are, this is in South Africa. He's saying if you are not South African, then you don't get access to no type of health care. Get the hell out. That's what he's saying. You see it. I'm seeing it. We watching it, family. You see, these people don't rock with each other. And this is going on all across Africa. These people are having all types of conflicts over immigration. They don't want anybody there because they understand that they are getting their resources taken away from foreigners. So meaning the same thing that they try to claim that FBA be tripping on, which we don't, they're out there tripping big time. And they're actually out there denying people. I thought it was diaspora love.
Yeah, Immigrants Act, yeah, South Africa, all foreigners should seek medical help from private clinics and private hospitals. Whoever has a problem can go and consult with the police or consult with the Home Affairs there at NAFCO. If you know yourself that you're not South African, please don't even dare, don't try us. Move out of the line.
Damn.
So, clinic,
Damn. Whoa. Yeah, this might say tether wars. Absolutely. This is what we're going to call it. Absolutely. These are tether wars, family. They got some tether wars going on. And he was just telling the people, you can't get nothing. This right here, family, we're going to highlight it because they got all these problems with foundational Black Americans. We ain't doing none of that. We ain't saying none of that. That's just what they saying. They saying that to each other. So I got to ask the question, how can you have so much hate for foundational Black Americans when we're not saying none of that type of stuff to y'all? Hell, y'all coming over here and y'all getting resources off of the shoulders of FBA and y'all kicking each other out of your homeland. These folks ain't getting along at all
y'all
over there,
Gucci
y'all.
Slide.
They never
Y'all
got
let
along over there.
H&M slide.
They're out there
Y'all
right
let
now in South
Lululemon
Africa
slide.
running
But
every non-South African person the hell out of Dodge. The hell out of Dodge. Because that's the way these people move and that's the way they function and operate. Foundational Black Americans, I'm talking about all of us, certified Black society. The thing that we do the most is that we ride with each other. We ain't got no problem with you if you ain't got no problem with us. They cannot stand newcomers to their country. You come over to their country, family, and they ready to turn up on you. The same people, you got folks going around right now that are randomly just picking out foreigners. So how can you come and tell foundational Black Americans that we being xenophobic, or tell foundational Black Americans we need to get along with y'all when we're looking at the immigration crisis in Africa and nobody's talking about the immigration crisis in Africa? Nobody's saying the damn thing about it. Same dude. Watch this guy again, fam. Kicking people out, saying this is for us. Watch this.
If ungena esibhedlela, you are going to Crisane Baragwan, South African ID. No foreigners allowed in Crisane Baragwan, South African ID. No foreigners, no asylum, no passport. South African ID. Only South Africans are allowed here. South African ID, no foreigners allowed.
Right, good point. I didn't even catch that in the chat. Good point. Y'all notice this man running around with a big old switch? He running around with a switch. This is what you seeing over there, fam. They're having all types of immigration crisis. Watch this. Watch this right here.
We know we are all equal. What is the purpose of Nigerians having present a country?
And this is different. The last guy was in South Africa. This is a Nigerians must leave Ghana. So you got South Africa against everybody. You got Nigerians versus Ghana and all of the above. And he's not happy.
Ghana. What are they coming here to do? Then they are killing us. Time will come, you and I. Our children cannot go out and buy something and come back. You cannot go night and go and buy your Indomie. You and I cannot go spend at night and come home peacefully. Look at what they did to our mother in Nigeria. Commission. Ghana High Commission in Nigeria. High Commission in Nigeria. They kill her from this camp. They kill her. Why Nigerians? Are you the only people in Ghana? Are you the only people in the world? China is chasing Nigeria. South Africa is chasing Nigeria. And Uganda is chasing Nigeria. Why Nigeria? Especially the Igbos and the so-called Igbo king. This is a message to him. It's to be very, very vigilant. For himself again in this land again. Thank you. Let's go. We know we are all equal. What is the purpose of Nigerians having present a coming?
Damn. Xenophobia running all across over there, ain't it? Man, it's a hell of a lot of xenophobia. Man, I don't want nothing to do with that xenophobic rhetoric. They kicking people out, saying you got to go. And now a bunch of Africans who usually are always mad at foundationals, a lot of those Africans now are making low-key videos about each other. Yep, there's a lot of them same Africans that y'all have seen who always make videos and content about foundationals. Now they're making videos and content about each other. Okay, so now this game is changed, rearranged, and foundationals knew this the whole time. Don't go over there, family. Don't go over there. Don't let none of these people tell you to go over there. Quite frankly, it ain't safe. It is not safe for a foundational Black American. That's what they're doing to Africans. They're doing that right now to Africans, and they want foundational Black Americans to get involved. Man, we ain't getting involved in none of that. That ain't our problem. That ain't our problem at all, and you're not going to make their problems our problems because we're not the same. If I say we're not the same, then we're going to be not the same when it comes to going over there. So the immigration, migration crisis going on across the whole continent of Africa, it's powerful, and it's absolute xenophobia. So again, why y'all's worried about FBA when you need to be worrying about that man running around with a switch? He got a switch. Family, I'm telling y'all, Africans make Donald Trump look like he's open borders. That's what fam,
the biggest enemy to
Africans truly make Donald Trump look like he's the most open borders person in the world. Because if you examine immigration, then you got to ask this question. How come Africans are always talking about immigration, right? But whenever they flee amongst Africa, it always turns into a conflict. They flee typically to Europe or America. If y'all the biggest continent with the most languages, how come y'all don't just flee amongst Africa? You know why? Because they're not welcome in Africa. That's why. So they flee everywhere. Y'all seen this dude before. He's always been running around here talking about FBA. But watch this. He said the biggest enemy to Africans is African. Fam, this is one of the most FBA hating tethers on the internet. But he ain't singing that tune. Watch this.
It's Africans. We are our own worst enemy. The biggest enemy to Africans is Africans. We are our own worst enemy. If you're an African person, the person that will most likely take you down, humiliate you, or destroy you will be your African brother or your African sister. And I know some of you are going to think that I'm only referring to South Africa on this. No, I'm talking to the whole entire African continent.
Damn.
That we hate each other. There's self-programmed hate within all of us, and it's a big problem. I'll give you a scary statistic, right? In the entire African continent, we've got less than 200,000 millionaires on the continent, right? I'm gonna let that sink in. 200,000 millionaires on a continent that has millions and millions of people. We can only produce 200,000 millionaires. Now, for you to understand how sad this number is, I want you to put into context that in America, Black people are a minority, right? They are a minority there in America. But there are more millionaires there than there are on the African continent.
Whoa, wait a minute. I thought we need to work harder, nigga. Did y'all just hear this? Family, did you just hear this right there? Is the truth starting to come out? Is the truth on the table? Did this man just use FBA as an example? Did he just say, in America, they are the minority, but there's more millionaires? This ain't no lie. This ain't no lie. This contradicts all the tether language that they talk about. Now they're using FBA as a shining example. Now they're using FBA as a bright light. Any other time is work harder, nigga. I seen this man right here, who's a supreme tether. He been running around here telling FBA to work harder. Now he running around here telling FBA how much money we got and the Africans don't have it. He said they their own worst enemies. Damn.
I want you to put into context that in America, Black people are a minority, right? They are a minority there in America. But there are more millionaires there than they are on the African continent. Like, we claim that Black Americans are descendants of Africans. But there are more millionaires that are out of Africa than they are in Africa. And we're the only continent that has that dynamic, where the diaspora has produced more millionaires, billionaires, cultural icons than the entire African continent combined. You look at Europe.
Fam, is it snowing right now? This can't be real. Is this AI? This got to be AI. There's no way this is real. Hell no. This man is piping straight up and down. This man got all types of tether act right. This man is out here throwing Africa under the bus. It sounds like he's realizing that foundational Black American train done took off and he ain't got no opportunities. It sounds like he's like, damn, it's a wrap. Did he just say that FBA, quite frankly, are outclassing everybody? If we said the same thing he's saying, they'd be mad. But then we got to ask the question, why is he saying it if it isn't true? Just keeping it a buck.
That are out of Africa than they are in Africa. And we're the only continent that has that dynamic, where the diaspora has produced more millionaires, billionaires, cultural icons than the entire African continent combined. You look at Europe. Europeans can leave Europe, but if we add all the millionaires that have left Europe, they will never outnumber the amount of millionaires that are in Europe. And listen, this is on the basis of saying that white people in America are of European descent, right? For the basis of my argument, if we're saying that, right? If you calculate the number of millionaires in America that are white people, right? They still won't outnumber the amount of Europeans that are in Europe that are millionaires. And I know some of you are going to rush to the comment section and start talking about colonization, and that's why everything is the way that it is. Listen, India was also colonized. But the amount of Indians that are outside of Indians, the amount of millionaires who are Indians that are outside of India, don't outnumber the amount of Indians who are millionaires in India. Same thing.
Damn. Work harder, Tether. Work harder. Damn. So he's saying y'all can come up with the colonization excuse, but I ain't going for it. Hold up.
With the Middle East, if we're looking at Iraq, Lebanon, you're more likely, if you are born in these regions, you're more likely to become a millionaire being in those regions than actually leaving that region. We can talk about many other countries. We can talk about China. Listen, Africa is a problem. And the biggest problem of the African continent is its lack of unity.
There you go. The biggest problem in the continent of Africa is its lack of unity. So miss me with the solidarity, miss me with the Pan-Africanism, and miss me with the we all just needs to get along. All right? It's clear. That came from an African, and he said the same thing that FBA says about Africa. We're only making observations. I just showed you previously a Jamaican. He said the same exact thing. that FBA says about Africa. We're just making observations. And then we showed everybody how in Africa, they got one of the biggest immigration crises going on ever. So if you look right now, sound like everybody's saying the same exact thing about Africa. So why are you upset when FBA says it? Or is it that you ain't really mad about it happening? You just mad that foundational Black Americans ain't allowing you to have our seat at the table. You just mad that foundational Black Americans ain't allowing you to get our citizenship. You just mad that the tethering ain't working. See, this is about the immigrants who come here to the United States of America and try to eat off of our plate. The folks who are in Africa, who live their little African life and they not thinking about FBA, cool, because we over here living our exceptional FBA life and we not thinking about y'all. Fine. It's the tethers that want to come over here, who want to steal, who want to take, who want to get us and replace us. But now they finding out that none of that's working. Fam, this is a big shift, big shift. And notice you didn't see the videos that I just showed you a month ago, 2 months ago. Damn sure didn't see them a year ago. Tethers are throwing tethers under the bus. You got a Jamaican blaming Africans for the slave trade. You got a Jamaican saying don't ever trust an African. And remember, that Jamaican said he don't like FBA. So it's not like he's I want to be an FBA. He said, you guys are worse than the FBA. Damn. So these aren't like people who want to be us and friends with us. These are people who are seeing the same exact things that FBA says. So basically, FBA was right then, and now everybody realizes that FBA's right. And since now they're realizing that FBA's right, they're all getting on board. Because quite frankly, y'all, there's only one board to get on, and that's the one that we create. So again, thank us later. Foundational Black Americans are exposing it. And remember, anytime somebody's trying to tell you to go back to Africa, get on board with Africa, all of that comes along with what I just said, because they're not in Africa. Remember this, fam. The people trying to get you to go back to Africa and the people telling you that Africa is where you need to go, these are individuals who aren't even over there. So if you're not even in your homeland, then I damn sure ain't going. And if you try to get me to go to your homeland, damn. And let me tell you this as well. We've been delineating, but guess what? Africans have been delineating. And I'm going to show y'all a video of what it looks like when an African is in the delineation process. Watch this, family. This African man right here is in full-time delineation from other Africans. It's going around, and FBA wears the crown.
I'll tell you one secret. These Igbos, they are in almost every village in this country. And they have targeted our markets.
Okay, yeah,
That's the
Igbos,
retail.
and Nigeria.
Okay, fine. Nigerians. And they have targeted our market. They are in almost every village in this country. And normal targeting their markets. That's retail sector. But our laws does not allow foreigners to engage in retailing. Okay, your promo and Nigeria ni boni and I'm so and yet to General Ankara. If you can on the 2nd April 1969. Now the same Iboni and I'm coming to myself. No, can you say you only video? Can say yeah, background you outnumber the Ghanaians and we conquer them and take over the country.
Yeah. What he said is that there's laws in place that stop these individuals from coming over here and targeting their markets. And then he said that the fact that they come over here, the next thing they want to do is to take over the country. Now, fam, y'all just tell me if I'm wrong. Is every single thing that that man is saying, the last guy who said Africans are Africans' worst enemy, and the Jamaican who said that Africans were worse than FBA, everything they said, if foundational Black Americans said the same exact thing, would these people not be tripping out, falling out, and crashing out? Would they not have a big, massive problem if foundational Black Americans said the same exact thing or something even in the ballpark or similar? Yeah, they would be. And then you got to ask this question. If you're so mad at foundational Black Americans for saying the same exact thing that other Africans are saying, then what's the real problem? I'm going to tell you what the real problem is. The real problem all goes back to our foundational Black American citizenship. That is what's the most coveted, y'all. It's foundational Black American citizenship. Everybody wants to come here and be a foundational Black American, but you cannot be a foundational Black American because there's only one. Foundational Black Americans is like this. You either wake up in the morning as a foundational Black American or you just ain't. It's as simple as that. Foundational Black Americans, we're an either or culture. There's no halfway. That's why they're trying to come up with all these different things and different means. Delineation is going on amongst Africans. Xenophobia is going on amongst Africans. Divisiveness is going on amongst Africans. Nothing to do with FBA. We over here in America doing our FBA thing, exceptional. So if all of those problems are going on in Africa, including immigration, rejection, then why are the TikTok tethers mad at us? It's because we got what they want and they can't have it. And the fact that they can't have it, y'all have at it with all the feuding and fighting. But let me tell you what else is happening. Folks is going home. There was a lady who came over here from Ghana. She thought she was going to come over here and pull all that FBA's bad, FBA's this, that, and the other thing. They pulled out her card. They pulled out her visa and they said, nope, you got to go on back to Ghana. And now she's making videos crying. So you got the ICE agents that a lot of Black Americans are signing up for. You got all of the incentives that we're getting for doing that. You got the no bilingual policies that are popping off, delineation going on in Africa, xenophobia going on in Africa, and foundational Black Americans just moving forward and closer to the bag. And then you've got this as well. It's just not good for them and it's great for us. Y'all look at this woman right here and watch this. She's crying because she thought she was going to pull that visa out and they was like, nope, null and void. This is what happens when you think it's sweet and you find out that it's not. Watch this.
So I'm not one, right, to come out on social media and start to cry or talk about all my hurts as a business person, but this one hurts so bad. It hurts so bad. So apparently I was denied entrance into the US, and that's because my visa was a B1, B2 visa, which is tourism / business meetings, right? So when I landed, I was detained for like 24 hours.
Damn!
In their detention room. And when I was questioned, I told them that I was just only going to exhibit. But I didn't know any better because the US has all your data, your Instagram page, every single thing. So apparently, my Instagram obviously says different because they even checked all my messages with my customers. You know, the customers have been telling that we're coming and they can pick up and, you know, all of that.
Freeze. They checked her social media accounts, like we said earlier, with all them terroristic threats, and that the United States of America and the Donald Trump administration are fine-combing their social media accounts. And they found out that she was living a life that she said she wasn't. So they said, damn your visa, damn how you acting. All of those tethers running around here trying to pop off on social media, you getting them damn accounts looked at, and everything you doing is a violation. And they told her detainment, deportation.
Long story short, this is actually for my US days. God knows I tried. I really wanted you guys to see the face behind this brand. You know, the face that puts in all the work. I wanted you guys to not only experience my product, but experience the person behind the product. And I'm not even thinking about all the money's lost because I mean I see like it's part of life. So what you guys do for me is just support me in any way you can.
Support you any way we can. Family, how come they weren't making these videos during the Kamala Harris, Joe Biden administration? How come we didn't see these videos back then? You're seeing tether tears, tether tantrums, you're seeing tether on tether crime, tether divisiveness, tether xenophobia, and FBA is sitting back watching it all unfold. You know why you didn't see these? Because they thought it was sweet. They thought they were going to be Black Americans. I'm telling y'all, by 2025, they thought they would be Black Americans. They thought they'd be us. And now they're finding out that you can't be us. You're not like us. Nobody is. The rude awakening has happened, all right? Everybody's finding out real quick that that little eraser you thought you had is gone. That little thing you thought you was going to replace us, gone. Foundational Black Americans, Black American August is in full swing. Look what's going down right now as you look at it. All the pivotal moments. You had the Alabama, Montgomery beat down. Then you had Cincinnati beat down, not to mention the Mississippi beat down. The beat downs proceed to give you what you need. Yes, indeed. And now you got tethers crying, tethers on TikTok, and they all getting deported as well. Their conditions have changed. Ours hasn't. We still the same Black Americans that we told you we were before. We still the same foundational Black Americans who gonna get that reparations money, like we told you before. And you still the same tether who's dusty, rusty, and always musty and about to go home, like we told you before. Don't be mad at us because we don't just see the future or predict the future. We are the future. And when I say we are the future, family, we're also the past. And when I tell everybody we're the past, that means that we're foundationals. And when I say that we're foundationals, I want y'all to notice people are trying to separate us from the United States of America, but you can never separate us from who we are because this country belongs to the people right here who built this damn thing. Look at this right here, family. And this is exactly what I mean. You got more people coming out trying to get foundational Black Americans to believe that we're not the indigenous people here. And that's what this is all about. And that's the main kicker. Watch this, fam. This guy puts out this video and he's trying to tell FBA that we're not the indigenous people. When you see a Pan-African, you're going to see a $2 Tonto. When you see both of them, you tell them Black Alpha said that they can get their asses out the paint or get ran out the paint. Watch this.
You know what? I find it very, very interesting how so many Black people in this day and age are saying that, hey, we're not Black people. We're not African. We are indigenous to this land. I find that very, very odd because I'm trying to understand this whole movement as far as, hey, I don't want to be looked at as African. I'm not from there. I was born here in America. We were always here. And I never understood that. I've had people told me that I'm delusional and that, I'm not from Africa. My family's not from Africa. We've always been here, so and so, blah, blah, blah. I even saw a comment where someone said that 85% of the Black people in America are indigenous to this land. Very interesting, right? Well, I did my family history and I've been doing it since 2013. And so it's been, 12 years that I've been doing my family history. And I've never run across anything that suggests that my family were always here.
Then you must be a tether. How about that one, then, family? How about you don't know your history? How about that one? You ever notice that, fam? I did a test, and the test told me that I ain't got no evidence of being here because you're probably not from here. How about that one? Because everybody else, we see that we are from here. Everybody else, we got the evidence. So whose word are you going to take on the situation, my brothers and sisters? Are you going to take the 60 million certified foundational Black American lineage, heritage, and culture where all of our evidence adds up? Or are you going to take this random guy who says, I ain't seen nothing? So basically, you're just a tether. And if you're a tether, be proud you're a tether. If you're scared, just say you're scared. There's a church down the street and around the corner. You can go there, but we ain't scared.
Everything that I've ran across always suggested my family came from Africa. I even have cousins within my DNA match list who are in Africa, who live in Africa. That means that we are.
Oh, you a damn tether. Fam, we ain't got no cousins that are in Africa. Fam, I got some cousins in Ohio on the east side. I got some cousins in Georgia, Savannah on the east side. I ain't got no cousins in Africa. Don't come tell me that you got some cousins in Africa and you somehow are still a Black American. There ain't no Black American who got a cousin in Africa unless you just got here yesterday. You are either a first generation tether or a second generation tether. And remember, both of those are a full tether, a full-time tether. You got a cousin from Africa. You don't tell that story and get the hell up out of here.
Closely related, basically. If they're in your DNA match list, that means that you're either related a little, further down the line, or they're close. You're closely related to that person. But either way, if you have African ancestry within your DNA match list, all of your cousins and stuff like that, that means that you guys share a common ancestor within the last maybe 300 years, you know, depending on how far back they are. Within the last 300.
The last 300 years, family. I want y'all to notice what he just said. He said that you share a common ancestor within the last 300 years. Just by going off the logic of we got here as slaves, that doesn't compute. Now, if you want to go by the reality that we've been here for hundreds, thousands of years, then that really don't compute. Just by basing it off of 1619, that's cap. So if you want to take it back further, then that's quadruple, 100, infinity cap. This man ain't got none of his research. He ain't got none of his receipts. And to be quite frank with you, I think he's lying. I think this man's lying. I think this is the full-time tether. I think he just got here yesterday off of an inner tube that sank. And now he's trying to run this. I did my research and it said that I'm not y'all neither. Family, this is a tether. I know a tether when I see one. This man is a damn tether.
Years. So that means that you guys you're African. You have family that have come from Africa.
And why does he keep saying you guys? And there go Gap. Man, this is a damn tether. This man got the tether gap. He got the tether gap and he's trying to tell us something. Fam, this is a damn tether. This is a tether right here. Trying to tell us, man, if you got I knew a gap was going to get detected. Do we got a gap detected, y'all? We got a gap detected. This ain't no damn FBA. This ain't no FBA. This is another Pan-African who's going out of his way to try to scare FBA from being the natives. I told y'all, Tonto and Mutombo are teaming up. And both of them, Tonto and Mutombo, are trying like hell to get us not to be FBA, family. That man, I knew a gap was going to be somewhere in there. This is a damn tether.
You know, and I have those all over my DNA match list. A lot of people from Africa who I've actually got in contact with, and their family, basically, they're saying that, well, they don't have any family that's in America, you know? So that's a telltale, basically saying that, hey, you actually do have some African ancestry within you.
And that gap is the telltale that you would tether. And notice he got that damn hat on too. And I'm looking, and just by that angle, look like that hairline ain't there neither, family. He got more hair on his mustache than his hairline. This is a tether, y'all, trying to perpetrate the fraud like he's us so he can kind of trick us and scare us out of our position. We're not going nowhere. We're not moving off our pivot. You can't get hundreds of thousands of foundational Black American ancestral presence to go with your TikTok video. Tether, man.
And I've spoke to plenty of people. I've done my grandmother's research. I've done my mom's research, my father's research. All of them lead back to Africa. Me, myself, I might look like, you know, that I'm kind of mixed with, you know, some stuff, which I think, you know, mostly most Black Americans are mixed, you know, mixed around and stuff like that. But some of us have a higher African DNA percentage than others. Mine, I've took my DNA test on numerous sites. All of my DNA tests come back that I'm 90% African.
90% African? Did this man get off my goddamn screen? This man just said he's 90% African. You are an African then, family. You're a damn African fam. There's Africans who come here as immigrants, and they're not 90% African. So if this man's trying to get us to believe that we're 90% African, then you know damn well he's out of pocket. This dude right here is a tether, all right? And he's got the same tether tactics, and he's in the same tether situation. And you've been seeing a lot of that coming out here, fam. And I've been telling everybody, you got to watch these individuals because they're getting more and more desperate right now because there's quite frankly nowhere to run to. There's nowhere to hide, all right? And when you start saying 90% African, notice that all of these studies that they always do, they never have any receipts about it. There's never any receipts to these people who claim all of these outlandish, preposterous things about lineage, heritage, and culture. You really can't see nothing. They don't even show their hairline. So what makes you think that they're going to show their actual results? You're not going to see none. That's just what it is. So now we're witnessing this and we're pulling out paperwork and we're calling things out and nothing's adding up in their favor, fam. This is a wrap. It's stone cold. They know that our ancestral presence right here is not to be denied. So if you add up all of the things statistically that's moving foundational Black Americans, let me give y'all the two things, okay? First off, it's us currently right here, right now, our citizenship to America, it's coveted. It's also the fact that people don't like the exceptional nature in which we resist supremacy and we push back on supremacy. And then they don't like the indigenous native status, not in a particular order, but you're going to see those three things are going to be the trigger points that make everybody afraid. Foundational Black Americans being the natives to America, that means we're the most American. And if we're the most American, then that means everybody else in the social pecking order has to come after us. And they don't like that fact because the system of supremacy is conflicting with that. See, everybody right now is in this conflicting status of what the dominant society and the system of supremacy, a system in which 99% of non-FBAs adore. They don't like the fact that that's conflicting with the fact that foundational Black Americans are the indigenous, native, original people here. Because how can you really have that type of hatred for people that you know in the social pecking order you're beneath? This is twisting their brains up. This is killing their logic. They don't like that fact. So we as FBA who've been representing, this is powerful. The best thing we ever did was get a lineage-based culture. But you see how I just told you, you're always going to see Mr. Lubumba, Mr. Mutombo, and the $2 Tonto. Watch this right here. This is another $2 Tonto. And he's coming out now. And if you look at social media, the people who make the most videos about FBA are Pan-Africans and $2 Tontos. Those are the main people who make videos about FBA. Because remember, the Pan-African wants us not to be American, so he can say we're Africans and he can get our reparations money, right? And then the $2 Tonto, he doesn't want us to be Americans because he understands that foundational Black Americans are the people he claims he is. So now you're starting to see another element of Tether Voltron. Watch this right here, y'all. This is what I mean. And by the way, I highly suspect that this man is on some of that Tonto dust, straight up. And by the way, this is a $5 Tonto anyway, all right? So when you talk about the $5 Tonto, the $2 Tonto, and the $1 Tonto, this is what you get. But I want y'all to notice, this man, he's got the 7-year itch, and it looks like he's on that reservation doing some of that dust. But watch this, y'all.
I wanted to say something quick. So I made a video probably 1 or 2 weeks ago talking about pretendianism, asking them a question about, like, if you're all pretendians, and why do you, like, steal culture and stuff, and why do you have to steal from other people's culture? And I made a lot of pretendians mad, and I don't care. So I'm gonna make y'all even more mad by saying this: you will never be natives like us because you don't know how to live the native lifestyle.
The native, not what? Obviously some cocaine. Boy, this man over there scratching, ain't he? Y'all don't know what it is. It's you need to go ahead and get some of that dust off your partner. All right, look like you done hit a whole 8 ball and you over there itching. What the hell is wrong with this guy?
You don't know how to. All you know how to do is get feathers, wear feathers, talk about, oh, I got to do this for me. I got to do this for me. Think about being natives. You got to care about your people. You don't care about your people. You pretendians are very selfish. You don't care about yourselves. It's like I said. In the last video I made, ego kills. Ego really kills. Ego can kill and can really colonize. You know, egotism, it is a form of colonialism. And you pretendians would never have the experience of going into the city, talking with your other native homies and talking about how can we lift our people up and how can we find work in the city and decolonize when we're in this new age of technology and revolution, and how can we adapt? And how can we use our people's stories and songs? You will never go through that. You will never have that because you're all fake and you're not native. So yeah, I want to talk about us all being Siberians. Shoot. My people didn't see your people at the border, if that's the case, so.
What? Yeah, because we were already here. Notice, though, he got to address the Siberian thing. Y'all notice now. He didn't have to address that a few years ago. I told y'all they mad about that.
You will never go through that. You will never have that because you're all fake and you're not native. So yeah, I want to talk about us all being Siberians. Shoot. My people didn't see your people at the border, if that's the case, so keep talking. Stay mad.
Keep scratching. Stay high. Listen, they all know that we are the indigenous people. Fam, we are having a certified renaissance on multiple fronts in the United States of America. You can't make this up, y'all. There's like 7 movements in one, but it's all wrapped around lineage-based. This lineage-based movement is showing itself and it's exhibiting itself in a multiple form. You have our reparations movement. Yes. You also have our indigenous status, our reclaiming of our culture. That's another one, as well as all of our art forms. This is a powerful thing. And it's why I tell y'all, they're mad now that FBA has canceled out every excuse that they were using back in the day. Now we're going to go ahead and get on the $2 Tonto. Everybody just seen how the Creeks, the real Indians, they were included now in a lot of those tribes and now the reparations and a lot of those treaties. Family, that would have never happened before this lineage-based movement, okay? The fact that you're seeing all of that happen, that is just more indicative of this culture moving forward, fam. That man had to make that video because he's really mad. Remember, whenever they say something about us, that's just projection, okay? So when they tell us we're mad, he's really mad when he looks in the mirror. When they tell us that we're upset, he's really upset that he has to address it. When they tell us that we're the bad guys, they deep down inside know that they're the sad guys. They're upset, they're foul, they're frauds, and they got to deal with the reality that foundational Black Americans, we ain't going nowhere, we right here. How would you feel if you've been running around here for hundreds of years and you got a fake identity given to you? And now this lineage-based movement shows up and says, give it back, Tonto, peace out. They don't like that. And by the way, they're not in a condition right now because they fumbled every bag they had. You fumbled the reservations. You fumbled your reparations. It's not coming back around the corner. Imagine seeing the people that you said that you were, the people whose identity that you stole. Imagine seeing them now get the reparations that you got based on stealing their name, and you squandered it. And now they know we're about to get our reparations based on reality. How do they feel about that? How would that make them feel? Terrible. Okay, yeah, what they say, and he needs to worry about that crack is whack, okay? Because he looking like he done got whacked upside the head with a whole 8-ball. And that's why he's sitting there scratching all over the place, because that's what you did with your reparations money, okay? Your reparations money, you drank it with some of that reservation liquor. Clearly, you done snorted it with some of that reservation scrack. And now you're out here making TikTok videos about my lineage because you understand the reparations we going to get. Oh, we going to flip it. Everybody's afraid that we're going to flip it. See, they understand our greatness and our exceptional nature of persevering. The very fact that we've persevered through everything, that petrifies them in terms of us getting reparations. Foundational Black Americans, we've done more with less. We are the ultimate hustlers. Y'all want to know the very first hustle that America has ever seen? The very first hustle, when people showed up and they said, what the hell is a hustle? Who the hell is a hustler? And they looked at FBA. The first hustle that America ever saw was they gave us lemons and we made lemonade. That's the very first hustle. And the fact that we got those lemons, made us some lemonade, is the same exact way we're going to get this reparations and we're going to take over the game. Nobody wants us to get money because look how much we've done by being deprived of money. Okay, we're the last hired, the first fired. We're being deprived of food, education, welfare, and resources all throughout the country. You got Black American men and women who are subjected to all types of injustices and wrongdoings based on the hands of the system of supremacy. You got millions of migrants who come here to this country, disrespect us, and get the tangibles that belong to us, and we're still above them. And this has been going on for years. So no, they don't want foundational Black Americans to get reparations. That thought keeps them up at night. Fam, they're up right now and won't get no damn sleep because of FBA. You'd be shocked if you knew how much FBA was on these people's brain. They think about FBA so much it's unhealthy. And they don't like the very fact that that reparations bag is coming. And what they really don't like the fact of is this right here. They don't like the fact that we've been pulling out these damn receipts. And every receipt that we pull out is showing more and more evidence that Black Americans are the true indigenous people of the United States of America. And we have a multitude of foundational Black Americans who have said this, scholars who have said it. I know scholars who have told me personally the facts about this. Shout out to Kabahai Watha Kamene. Okay, much respect. RIP to our great brother David M. Hotep. Okay, Ivan Sertiman has also made these. And I want y'all to see this. The Black presidents in America before Columbus. Yep. This was an article placed out years ago. Okay. And it shows you all different types of them speaking about ancient skeletons. They start talking about how they found so much of a presence here in the United States of America previous to Tonto ever showing up. Because remember, Tonto only claims that he's been in the United States of America for about 25 to 30,000 years. Well, how come you can show us foundational Black Americans and evidence of human presence here that predates that truly, literally, y'all, by 100,000 years? You're talking about 100,000 years versus 25,000 years. They don't like that. And this coincides with what all of our ancestors have told us. Remember, fam, our ancestors been telling a different story than what their ancestors have been telling. Ancient skeletons provide substantial evidence of early existence of blacks. Notice in this article, they're not talking about humans, they're talking about black people. The most substantial evidence supporting the presence of early blacks in America are ancient skeletons. In addition to the widely publicized 1975 discovery by Smithsonian Institution team of scientists of two Negro male skeletons. And remember, at this time, we're classified as Negro. So family, they're calling us out verbatim by name who the hell we were. This ain't just saying, oh yeah, some Negro. No. Negro is what we were classified as. That would be the equivalent of them saying skeletons are some FBAs. They're making it crystal clear with no misinterpretation. They want you to know who it is. And this was in 1975. And this is also by a lot of white scientists, not to mention the Black American scientists, who are all peer-reviewed as well. Remember, if you guys ever check out the book by David M. Hotep, he talks about how everything in existence of foundational Black Americans predates what they previously thought, and it's peer-reviewed. You will not find one peer-reviewed book stating that $2 Tonto was here in the United States of America, because their timelines just quite frankly don't exist. However, our timelines exist and they add up. So when the Smithsonians and the scientists are saying the same exact thing, you add it all up to the same. They say Negro male skeletons in the grave in the United States, Virgin Islands dating back to AD 1250. A number of other anthropologists have long insisted that the many early American skeletons represent Black men, not to mention the Black women that they would later find after this. Family, you cannot make none of this up. These people know what it is. And if you want to take it a step further, this right here is very good, because a lot of times when you start talking about archaeology and you start talking about evidence, one of the main things that we always talk about is skeleton bones, right? That's one of the things. Let me tell you how cold we are. Oh, and certified salute to all of y'all, because I am astonished, okay, by how many Black American brothers and sisters of all age groups. Fam, I seen some 16 and 17-year-olds, and they was putting down receipts on the table that was completely outclassing a 77-year-old Tonto, okay? Pocahontas, you ain't got nothing on my good sister right here who's 15 years old, okay? So you got brothers and sisters who are in their teens, and they out here causing all types of wreck with these people. You know why? It's because our stories that are ancestrally passed down coincides directly with what scientists say. Notice that Tonto stories don't match scientists. They said they came over here in the Bering Straits. Scientists now said that that doesn't add up. Now they're saying that they island hopped, okay, all across the Samoas into Brazil, and that doesn't add up. So basically what I'm telling you is you can have an archaeologist and you can have grandma, and they're going to tell the same story. You can't do that, Mr. Tonto. You can have a scientist make a discovery of 100,000 years ago, and it's going to add up exactly what Grandpa told us. You can't do that, Tonto. So not only do we have the statistical and the data and the factual, actual sentiments on our side, we also have sitting on Grandma's lap, and she says, baby, we ain't come from no damn Africa. We are American Indians. And that term right there, Black American Indian. A foundational Black American, a certified foundational Black American freedman. That reigns fear in all of these people. However, when you start talking about bones, that's one thing. But there's other means to find out who was here first. There's a lot of means, like all the mounds that are here in America. Yes. And by the way, our people are the only ones who ever really talked about the mounds. Y'all notice you never heard any of the Tontos talk about mounds. They never bring that up. You don't never hear them talk about mounds. That right there is something that Black Americans talk about. Matter of fact, whenever I bring that up to a Black American, they be like, oh yeah, I know about that. Yeah. They got them in Ohio. They got them in Tennessee. They got them in Kentucky. You got them in Georgia, South Carolina. Yeah, you got mounds all over the place. Family, y'all tell me the time that you've ever heard a Tonto talk about mounds. Let's be real. Only thing they talk about is we were here first, and then the W man came over here and he was mean to us. Other than that, they ain't got no facts and no damn receipts. They ain't got no elongated stories. They ain't got no pass-me-downs. They give you the most vague interpretation of indigenous native culture because they're not the natives. We give very good, clear breakdowns. And we got brothers and sisters who never met that all add up. Your stories that you heard from your grandma match up stories that I heard from my grandma, and the archaeologists, they match up with everything we saying. Who run it? Who run it? It ain't them, it's us. We are not from Africa. We are Black Americans, and we are the indigenous people here. And not only do you have mounds, not only do you have bones, you also have footprints. And we've shown this before, and I like to believe that I'm the only one in the Black media who has posted this. And here are we to show everybody. Family, the White Sands footprints are a set of human footprints discovered in 2009 in the White Sands National Park in New Mexico. Let me tell you guys, I have personally been to the White Sands in New Mexico, and I was there actually in 2009. So shout out to the family. In 2021, they were carbon dated based on seeds found in the sediment layers to between 21 to 23,000 years ago. That date range is currently subjected to science debate, but if it's correct, the footprints would be one of, if not the oldest evidence of humans in the Americas. Early theories that humans settled in the Americas begin at the last ice age of about 13 to 16,000 years ago, meaning the people that they said came here, you know, Tonto, that right there is the 13 to 16,000 year ago people. And we know that they couldn't have came here anywhere before 13 to 16,000 years ago, because the place that they crossed over, the Bering Straits, was still a frozen land cap. And we talked about this before. So if they're telling us that the original belief was 13 to 16,000 years ago, and now they're saying, oh, damn, my bad, dog, we was wrong. It was really more like 21 to 23,000. Not to mention what we know as Black Americans that predates that by another 50,000 years. That means that what they tell us cannot be true. This right here puts an end to the Tontos came over the Bering Straits. How can you come over the Bering Straits when it was frozen? You couldn't. And now they're trying to make statements saying, oh, no, it wasn't the Bering Straits that we came over. We was land hopping across the Pacific Ocean, and we ended up in South America. Impossible. You're saying that basically you grew wings and you flew. And last time I checked, family, y'all ain't got no damn wings, and you ain't flying. Only time you're flying is a lot of y'all flying to go back home in deportation on the flight sponsored by Tom Homan. But other than that, your facts and your evidence and your receipts don't add up. So you can make all of your crack is whack videos on all of that reservation liquor, and you can get mad and upset that you crashed all the way out in terms of your reparations money. But what you cannot say is that foundational Black Americans aren't the original people. Family, I believe that we put the biggest receipts on the table. I believe that these people cannot compute what FBA is saying, but whether you can, you can't, you will, or you won't, it does not deal with anything other than we got the facts on our table. So yes, we are the originators. Yes, we are the first ones. And yes, these conversations with this dialogue, us gathering and having this type of communication amongst ourselves is truly changing the world. Why do y'all think they don't never want us in an environment where we're radiating and permeating foundational Black American energy? Because somebody gonna say something. Somebody else gonna say, I heard that too. Then we're going to start pulling out photo albums and we're going to put receipts on the table. Then we're going to start communicating. And then we're going to find out that every single thing that they ever told us was a lie. They lied to us when they said that we are all African. They lied to us when they told us that foundational Black Americans weren't the indigenous people. And by the way, going back to Mr. Lumbumba, we done already gave Tonto that work. He's over there in the corner, crashed out, face planted off that liquor and off that smack. Okay. You know, keeping it real. But if you want to go there and take it another step, family, how about this one? Mr. Lumbumba, I thought you said we was Africans who all came here in the slave trade. Well, if we're Africans who came here in the slave trade, then how do you tell me a story about those right there? Last time I checked, 1619 ain't 23,000 years ago. Last time I checked, 1619 ain't 30,000, 40,000 years ago. So y'all been trying to tell foundational Black Americans that we came here as slaves? That's what you're trying to tell foundational Black Americans. Well, how come none of the numbers add up And how come we have evidence that predates everything you said? And don't tell me that those feet print are Tonto, because we just proved to you that there's no possible way that that could happen. And now scientists are going back to the table, and scientists are saying, you know what? Basically, Black Americans, y'all were right and we were wrong. And it's not the fact that we were right and they were wrong. It's the fact that we were telling the truth and they were lying. Get that right, fam. Anytime somebody tries to tell you that you're right and they were wrong, that's them trying to fancy it up. That's a nice way of saying you weren't wrong, you were lying. You're not right, you've been telling the truth. So it's not about right or wrong, it's about the truth versus the lie. And it's about this generation and this era reclaiming the truth. We didn't make nothing up. We ain't been right the whole time. We put a flag in the ground and that flag says truth. And it got FBA on it too, okay? Black American status, certified. So that's what's got everybody afraid. So if you look at it, family, we have systematically, strategically went down the list of everybody who's been conning us, hustling us, and milking themselves and lynching off of anything that they possibly feel that they could do, and it's not working, okay? You're not going to lynch my history. That's the bottom line, okay? They've been trying to lynch our history. That's what they want to do, fam, so they can get it up out of here. And we are stronger than ever, like I've been saying, okay? Now, if you look at it, everything is coming back around. We have completely canceled the scam Africanism and we all came here slaves. That's over with. Stands on no ground. We have completely canceled the $2 Tonto. So when both of these people are out the way, what does that leave you with? The only lineage, heritage, and culture on the face of the earth that's been putting in work for the United States. Do you really believe that it's a coincidence that foundational Black Americans in this generation are the ones who are standing on the most business just by coincidence, just by happenstance? Or is it the fact that foundational Black Americans, we only doing what we only know, and what we know is each other, what we know is this landmass, and our representation and our affiliation and our relationship with the United States of America, quite frankly, whether they want to admit it or not, just runs deeper than everybody else's. And what they should do is just bow on down and accept it. And when I talk about accepting it, they can accept this. Family, here's another one. The ancestors of Native Americans are widely believed to have migrated from Siberia to North America, crossing the Barren Land Bridge during the last ice age. That was the original lie. Now, did I not just show you something that predates the original lie? Remember, family, that right there is the Bering Straits. That right there is Siberia. And they say they went into North America. But every single scientist who told you they did that, those same scientists will also tell you that they couldn't have did that no more than 15,000 years ago. So how do you explain the 20 to 30,000 year old prints? Basically BS. So that right there, we have crippled the Bering Straits lie. Family, do y'all know how long they've been saying that? Do you know how long they've been running that game, y'all? The fact that foundational Black Americans have ruined that lie, oh man, that's powerful. Oh man, that's beyond powerful. People don't understand the power in which that is. They can't run the Bering Straits lie no more, fam. They've been telling that lie longer than damn near anything. So you, as FBA, a certified foundational Black American brethren, you can go ahead and take credit, full credit, for ending that one as well. And this is why you get those TikTok videos. This is why these people are so upset. This is why they can't stand us. You ain't supposed to be a Black American out here debunking lies that they've been telling for 100 years. You ain't supposed to be a Black American out here regulating and exposing people who've been telling these games for years beyond years that they can't even come up with no more. You ain't supposed to do that. So they're all living in the reality that they don't want to live in. And that reality that they don't want to live in is all based on what we've been saying. I mean, damn. You got to understand, fam. They've been putting that in the history books for years. The fact that we debunked that, fam, and we did that without any social backing. Nobody financed it. We just did that off of good, strong, working class, Black American power and energy. And that shows you that that good working class foundational Black American grassroots energy can conquer it all. You can spend every single dollar in which they have. You can put it in all the textbooks. You can tell that lie for hundreds of years. Where did it get you? It ain't get you nowhere, did it? It ain't get you nowhere. Some good FBA showed up with some smart minds, and we put an end to all of that. So the fact that they jumped off of that lie right there, right? That's the lie that they jumped off of. Let me show y'all the new lie that they're on now. And y'all gonna laugh. Get ready to laugh at this one. Y'all see that right there, right? Okay. Up here is the Bering Straits. Now we have debunked the lie that they came from over the Bering Straits. Fam, we in class here today, family. We in super duper certified class. Right up here is the Bering Straits, and we went ahead and debunked that one. Do y'all know now they're saying that they island hopped from here all the way into South America? Family, how'd you do that? So they went from flying to growing fins and swimming now, I guess, right? Is that what they're trying to tell us, fam? Do y'all see that we made them move their lie from the northern part of the Pacific Ocean now down to the southern part of the Pacific Ocean, family? Do y'all know that the Pacific Ocean is so big you can fit every single continent inside of this? I'm not lying. Look it up. The Pacific Ocean, that gap right there, is so big you can fit every continent in there. So you ain't go across no damn Pacific Ocean. And you're only telling that lie is because foundational Black Americans exposed the Bering Straits lie. And we did that without the scientists calling us on the phone. We did that without anybody giving us any support. Y'all didn't want us to do it, which only goes to show you again, fam, for the billionth, trillionth time, that foundational Black Americans, us, lineage, strong, powerful, certified, we do whatever the hell we want because we keeping it all the way real. And that realness that we keeping it all the way has got these people all the way afraid. What you're dealing with are people who've been running around here with identity theft. And you've been stealing foundational Black American culture. And you got away with it with the African American. You got away with it with the person of color. But you will never get away with it. You ain't getting away with it. And you got to deal with it with the foundational Black American certified. You see what we're talking about. So no, you ain't came over the Bering Straits when you said. You damn sure didn't go from the biggest ocean and just hop an island, pop across. So once I remove all of that and I get all on out the way, you're only left with what grandma told me, okay? Grandma always told me, grandpa always showed me that foundational Black Americans are the one and only. And when I say we the one and only family, not only, this is how bad we are. Let me tell you how bad we are, fam. Not only did foundational Black Americans start exposing these people, right? Not only did foundational Black Americans start saying, your history ain't what you say it is, but I'm going to tell you what your history is. See, now, fam, this is a beautiful thing. And ain't it poetic justice? Think about it. Everybody that's always been trying to tell us about our business, always sticking their nose in FBA business, now we G-checking them with the truth. And now I'm telling you about you. See, you don't like that, but you better deal with it. I don't give a damn what you like. Accept it. Foundational Black Americans, I'm telling you about your culture. You ain't talking about mine. The days of putting your nose in FBA business is a wrap. Now, FBA, I'm going to tell you more about you than you know. Or I'm going to tell you about yourself that you don't want to say out loud. We putting all the laundry in the street. We putting all the receipts on the table. Now we're going to speak this thing clear. I'm telling the African I know more about the African than he knows. I'm going to tell Tonto I know more about your history than you do. See, y'all thought y'all knew about FBA. All you know is a fake, watered-down version that supremacy gave you because you love supremacy. You dealing with supremacy resistors. You dealing with certified regulators. And we're going to tell you how great we are, and then I'm going to tell you how much of a fraud you are. So not only did I debunk every single thing that you said before in the past, now I'm going to show you how we did it. Y'all look at this. Not only did we delete and cancel out all those lies that they told us about hopping over the Bering Strait, not only did we show them that we are number one, the originators, now we telling them where the hell they came from. Y'all look at this right here. Similarities between Native Americans and Siberians. Oh, they didn't think that we would go down this road, but we about to go all the way down this road. I'm going to tell it, bro. You already know. Black Alpha in the place. Got my certified family with me. I'm feeling extra good today. Look at this, fam. Not only are foundational Black Americans going to speak the truth, tell the truth, acknowledge the truth, we're also going to tell them that I know who you are, and I know that you're a hidden tether and you are identity theft. But we have reclaimed, reshaped, remolded, restructured our own identity, that we are the original native foundational Black American people who built this land, cultivated this land, maintained and sustained this land. And we know that you are really someone who came from Siberia. Look at this right here, family. They don't like the fact that We had the opportunity to pull out some receipts and we gave you some invoices. We had the opportunity to give you some invoices and we gave you some tax returns. These right here, what you see are Siberians, and you see $2 Tontos. They look mighty like, don't they? Damn, I feel like Maury Povich up in here. We just putting their family business on the table. Yes, indeed, willing and able. Uh-huh. Look at this, fam. They look like the same exact people. Oh, maybe because they are. Wait a minute now. That's an indigenous Russian. Whoa. Hold up. Where you see this from? Only on the Black Alpha Network? Wait a minute. Who got these receipts? Only Certified Black Society. Who else talking about this? Nobody but us. Yep. That right there is an indigenous Russian. Damn. That right there, family, is not a Native American, quote unquote. This individual came here from Russia. You see it. I see it. We all see it. Believe it. Oh, we got more receipts, fam, to put on the table. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't do things halfway. You're going to do it halfway. You might as well do it all the way. What about that, family? You see a Native American TP, right? From 1891, right? Okay. Looks nice. Real good. Put that together real swell. Okay, family. Well, how about this right here? How about this is a Siberian and a Russian TP? Yep. Same thing. The same exact thing. So your people look alike. Your TPs look alike. Your hair look alike. You must be alike. I be damned. You see that right there, fam. That is a Siberian and a Russian TP. That right there is a Tonto TP. That right there is an indigenous Russian, and that right there are both of them in sequence. You have the same culture because you're the same people. Foundational Black Americans, Certified Black Society, all my brothers and sisters in the chat rocking with me right here tonight, okay? We are descendants of the originators. You are the descendants of Siberians, and there's nothing wrong with that. Love yourself, be yourself, and you won't find yourself by yourself. But I got all my brothers and sisters with me because we acknowledge what it is. So when I say that brothers and sisters are so tactical, so thorough, so scientific, that's exactly what I mean. When I say foundational Black Americans got all the receipts, all the invoices, all the tax returns, that's exactly what I mean. And when I tell everybody that we've deleted, canceled, and erased every single lie or myth told about us, and when I tell everybody that every person of color, every tether, every want to be FBA is upset and embarrassed right now because we've exposed them, that's exactly what I mean. And when I tell everybody we ain't African, we foundational Black Americans, and this is Black American August, that's exactly what the hell I mean. So shout out to the whole damn family, and shout out to my brothers and sisters who've been out there standing on certified business, okay? Certified business looks just like this, all right? Certified business looks just like that. Certified business looks just like that as well. And certified business has always been that right there. I love being a foundational Black American. I love my foundational Black American sisters. I love my foundational Black American brothers. And I love every single last one of y'all. When I say that we run the yard, when I say be proud of yourself, when I say we holding it down, that's what it is. That's what it's always been. And when I tell y'all, who would have thought that a foundational Black American grandmother would give you the truth that no scientist would give you, that would give you the truth that no imposter would give you, that would give you the truth that no global system will give you. And grandma won. Nobody thought that could happen. But with FBA, anything is possible, fam. The sky is not even the limit. And for us, there's no limit. It's only reparations, delineation, regulation, and that gets you whatever you need. So let's stay focused. Let's continue to grow. Let's stand by each other. And with that, we're going to change the world just as much as we already have. Tomorrow, we're going to be stronger FBA than we were today. And we're going to move that all the way in. We are the past, the present, and the future. We the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. And I got all my certifieds with me. And we can't lose, family. Much love and respect. Peace and love. Peace and love. Peace and love. From the Black Alpha Network, y'all. It's been great talking to you. I have all of everything lined up I'm thinking about 2 weeks, about a week and a half, perhaps, fam. We're going to do the Zoom. I'm going to be tight-lipped about it. On the next show on Friday, I'm going to have it all laid out. I got everybody's emails. So we're going to go at all those people, and we're going to expose them the same way we expose everybody today. But just understand, fam, you are a foundational Black American. Nobody's more American than you. When you stand on certified business and certified principle, you make sure that you always secure your future. You secure the bag, y'all. Represent it to the fullest, represent it to the maximum, and just know you exceptional and everybody else is behind. We building, we working, we stronger than ever. We building, we working, we shining, we grinding, all right? So we're going to do all this. We're going to take it to the United Nations. We're going to take it to all of these unions, and we're just going to let the world know that when foundational Black Americans are walking down the street, everybody get out the way, and they better run. Certified salute to the team. Y'all stay good. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay vigilant, man. We can rock on these people all damn day long, fam. We can hold it down forever. It's just a beautiful thing when we get together, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe, smash that like button on the way out, and leave your area code in the comment section to the video. That gets us rolling because I want everybody to look at where we broadcasting from, man. But I'll see y'all on the Zoom. We're going to break it down. We're going to chop it up. Y'all make sure y'all watch the last video we did. We had Dr. Short on there talking good game. We got a lot of things coming, things that we're going to do for real. We're going to get real political with it. We're going to really break it down socially, and we're going to make everything happen. So I love you guys. Y'all stay good. Y'all stay safe. Broadcasting live from America, the land that your ancestors built, and the land that my ancestors built, and the land that our ancestors built, and we will always be like that. From the #1 activist, certified salute. Y'all stay good. All right. Black is beautiful, and beautiful is always Black. Free Hugh.
Black Alpha Network, home of Black excellence. Power to the people.